face this alone. Keep my head up and breathing low. Put my heart with the ones I know, yeah. Cause I got the bass turned up loud, and the best that I know around. Fire that we can't live without, yeah. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my, need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the sign. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know, that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when we're catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then oh, I guess I know that I'm feeling the. My brothers do the right thing, tapping on the floor. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my, need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the signs. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know, that I'm feeling the fire. When I'm catching on fire. Then I'm feeling the. Watch the clouds break apart. Are we going back to the start? Going back to the start, yeah. But I'm feeling the fire up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. But I'm feeling the fire up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. And I'm feeling the, that I'm feeling the. Catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and
Okay guys, we did it. Now it's time to break into the Telosium generator room.
Telosium, huh? The powerful and unstable energy we need.
I must say, seems like a trap.
Not just seems. Definitely is.
And we're going in like this?
Of course. We need energy.
And I'm not in the mood to recharge in an outlet.
Well done. Was easier than we thought.
Every time you open your mouth, something bad happens.
Ouch. That hurt. But remember, this mouth is ours. Do you know who the cowboy is?
Not a clue.
In any case, We agree that he deserves our best treatment, right?
My friend, we'll have to agree. You gave us the best gift of all!
Let me guess. Another night of bad dreams?
Worse. Bad memories.
Hey,
Steffi, my girl, what can I get you?
I'll have the same as he has. Are you alone?
Waiting for someone.
Never saw tech like this before. It must have been expensive.
Let's say I'm still paying for it.
My guys are here. Maybe you can tell me more about it later. You're...
Leave him. He isn't a Mamba anymore.
What are you looking at, you freak?
Chill out, Alvaro. We're not here for trouble.
You know what? I might want some trouble. Is that all? A bad penny always turns up. Shrouds have no pockets. Hi, Sonia.
Orion, you were supposed to go back. Leave this place right now.
Sorry for the mess. Keep the change.
Just refresh my mind. Why should I get in the middle of this mess?
You owe us a favor.
It seems more like a never-ending debt with the Mambas. By the way, you're looking terrible.
We're fine compared to the rest of the platoon. We need to know who this guy is.
All right, better get started.
on the prize. Cause when I take a look over my life, it always go left and never go right.
You stole Lupe.
Lupe!
For you, stupid, it's Guadalupe. Lupe! What'd they do to you, girl? Shh. Huh?
Done right. And a traitor doesn't deserve such a pretty face.
Whatever. Just shut it.
Why? You're not enjoying a little tete-a-tete?
Who's the pretty face now? Hey, you! You stole Guadalupe! Get a real girlfriend, dumbass! Not a real... screw you! I had to sprint all over town for my deliverance. I'm no thief. I just borrowed your ride for a job.
Steal this white whale van and I'll give you twice as much.
Why are you here? Funny you'd ask. Sorry, miss. Someone just stole my Lupe and I had to sprint all over town.
Yeah. Noodles won't get you out of the city, you know. If you want real cash, work for me. I know a loser could use some help.
A loser?
From what we've witnessed from Group A and B. I'm Neptune Gentleman Garcia, joined by the one and only Musashi AJ, and we will be your casters all throughout the series.
Absolutely. I am excited. I cannot wait to kick this day off with you, Neptune, as far as the matches are concerned. Yesterday, due to some unfortunate technical difficulties, we could not continue with the matches of the groups C and D on broadcast. It still did happen offline. Some bombastic matches, which I'm upset I did not get to watch. We don't get to see them in performance on those maps, but we do get to see them in Bermuda, as well as a couple of the other maps that we did manage to catch yesterday as well, right? So C and D, definitely the squads that are going to be in highlight today. So we hear that the standouts were Novatos as well as Rosario Central from Group C, and Group D had PvP as well as 5 Stars. 5 Stars, they were the runner-up from last year, but like you said, a totally new roster, but they're still whooping butt, bro. So I'm excited. I want to see what they can do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a good thing that the returnees are still showing up. I mean, Rosario Central is topping aboard in Group C, and if I'm not mistaken, they even top T-Rex, because T-Rex was pushed down by Zeus Esports yesterday. And then even for 5 stars, very, very close with the points that they have. So in a bit, we might be seeing the overall standings in there, but that is update for what happened for Group C and D. We're really excited on what they're going to show right now, because yes, the number is there, but the performance is different. Would they be playing passive? Would they be playing aggressive, similar to what we've seen from Zeus Esports and T-Rex?
Yeah, I'm glad we actually have 3 stages to the competition, right? Because the group stage, we've got 24 teams, And I think the bottom feeders are going to get tortured in these groups. Because based on what we saw yesterday and what we are hearing right now, I'm very sure the audience would love to see the overall leaderboard. The balance of those three matches definitely had some action that we are going to, have the privilege of seeing today. But I wonder how they got up to the top yesterday, right? I mean, through numbers, maybe it'll paint a rough idea. But I can't wait for the second part of the competition, right? When we've got only 3 groups, the top 18 teams, then there is a possibility that these Titans will actually meet up. Because right now, there's not a lot of interaction between them. I think it's a teaser from the production team. I'm glad and I'm not so happy about it.
Well, it's one thing. I can't wait though. Not only for the beginning of this day, because once this ended, we have all information out of the 6 maps that the teams will be playing out of all the groups. So this gives us more opportunity to take a look as well on what the performance would be by next week. But speaking of next week, I'll be in the 6th and the 7th. So right now, 3 weeks for the group stages, 2 weeks for the knockout stage, and the grand finals is just 1 day. I'm really looking forward to that. Like 8 games, or a possibility of maximum 8 games if they don't get that champion rush condition.
Yeah, that's a huge difference, right? So now you don't get a cap of max 10. You don't get to chill anymore. I guess Garena Free Fire has kind of upped the ante a little bit, saying that you need to get this done latest by 8 games, which means teams are going to start hustling a little bit quicker. Looking at the pace of competition so far, you've got some heavy hitters at the very top, and then you've got a couple of teams that are still struggling in the gunfights, right? So this is obviously going to be super easy for the teams who are aiming for the biggest slice of the pie. We've got $30,000 on the table here, Neptune, and the team that gets to be the very best, gets to call themselves the very best of FFUSA, will take away $10,000.
Yeah, 1/3 of the entire prize pool just for the champions. And 5,000 for second place. It's not too bad. I mean, 3,000 for third place. For the 4 to 6, they will be sharing like parts of this, even up until 12. So hopefully they will do their best, similar to what we've seen in the previous day of matches. Wherein, if like this is more of important when it comes to the grand finals, the champion rush condition. So that's what they need to focus right now. So there's plenty of time from the schedule that we have from the knockout stage, from the group stage to the knockout stage, to find that final circle, because that booyah is the most important factor in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now, we may look at 1,000 USD and being who we are right now, Neptune, maybe 1,000 USD might not seem like a lot, right? Because we are old. We've made some money, all right? Now, I'm looking at this from the perspective of a 16-year-old who's playing the competition, right? A 17-year-old who's playing the competition. That's a lot of money on the table. So once again, this is exactly what we've got here. Group A, Group B, C, D, 24 teams in total. But we move on into the next stage. It will only be 18 teams that are still left in the competition, right? So you've got A versus B, B versus C, C versus D, D versus A. A few combinations here, but you're still not going to see the Super Titans interact a lot within the group stage itself. This is a teaser, which I think is much needed, because we get to see the true capability of these squads farming those points without having to worry about the opponents who are probably going to be as capable, probably, accidentally bumping into them early in the fights as well, could put them out of the equation and could have their potential points stolen off of the board. So all throughout the competition, there's so many of these storylines I'm looking forward to, but for the time being, there's only one goal. Don't be at the bottom. 24 teams, you got to be at the top 18 to make it into knockout stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's one reason as well. When I look at the scoreboard, I'm loving the turnaround that is being done of some of the teams. Like 7-8-7, if I'm not mistaken, they had a lot of elimination in the final game. And that's one thing that we expect some teams, those who are not shown on the screen because they were not performing that much, or they're not part of the top 5, I would say. But they are still putting in so much of effort to the numbers. Putting the numbers, either survivability or elimination, but they have to use it wisely. Like 3 games per day, you don't have information the first week actually on what rotation will be happening, what the drop spot is, but at least use it to your advantage where even your opponent doesn't know. So keep it safe, go for survivability, and then go ham towards the end. And that's where you get the champion condition.
Yeah, it's just a game, but I'm a very critical person. So, but this is week 1. Everybody gets we cut everybody some slack, right? Week 3 onwards, if you're already making it into the top 18, then there's no more room for errors, right? You make your mistakes here in the group stage, but obviously you want to be picking up that booyah. So 12 points off of placements is going to be very comfortable for you. The rest of them can be farmed through eliminations, and not many teams are capable of farming through eliminations. Yesterday, we got to see a little bit of T-Rex, and my, oh my, what an explosive match they showed us. And then Zeus Esports, bro, where did that come? 58 eliminations in 3 games. Unbelievable stuff.
I'm still thinking that the theory that Zeus was part of 5-star, because we've seen that performance from the previous season. We don't have confirmation of that just yet, but he knows the formula. He's leading Zeus Esports right now on how they can take advantage of the early parts of the knockout stage, and hopefully they can carry it over towards the early parts of group stage. Carry it over to the knockout stage. But right now, in the order of our maps, so we've seen the first 3 maps, the Bermuda Solara as well as Nextera, from yesterday from Group A and B. Now we switch it over because they will be playing on the remaining 3 maps, and then we're going to see as well Group C and D on the same map that AB played yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. So, long story short, the teams that played those maps yesterday will not be playing those maps. They'll be playing different maps. We only have 6 maps, and it is awesome, right? So, match schedule from yesterday. This is a quick recap, I guess. T-Rex grabbing 2 of those booyahs. That was at Bermuda as well as Solara. Zeus Esports, Nextera, that's the one they grabbed. But in terms of eliminations, they really broke everything in front of them, including T-Rex Esports. Those were some beautiful victories, beautiful fights, beautiful booyahs that we saw yesterday. But will the domination continue here from the 2 top-heavy teams, or will we see some adjustments here, Neptune? It's the time for the teams that could not rise and shine yesterday to wake up in the competition.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, for T-Rex, the only thing that they need to worry about is Zeus Esports, because out of like the 3 games, the one that they lost is it's because of Zeus Esports. They're the ones being eliminated by this team. So if it was not the case, they could have went in for a hat trick, 3 for the first 3. So like Zeus Esports is something else. They just needed to be consistent in elimination as well as placement to beat everyone in that overall standings. Speaking of overall standings, there you have it. Very close to 100. Zeus Esports right there. Only 1 booyah.
I mean, 1 booyah, that's absolutely fine, right? But consistency in those games, they were mind-blowing in terms of performance yesterday. I would love to see much more from them. Rosario Central, this one was played offline between C and D. We didn't get to watch the action, but they have overtaken T-Rex in terms of points. And this is what I'm talking about, right? The interaction between teams like T-Rex and Rosario Central. When that happens on the battlefield, just like the battle between Zeus as well as T-Rex, you don't know who's going to oust each other in those battles. You don't know who's going to be walking away with the most number of points in those matches. It's going to be a surefire banger. You guys cannot miss that. But teams like E7 Empire, you're looking at Galaxy Gaming, PvP. These are not the underdogs, but the favorites as well to shock the world, right? I need to see more of them today, man.
Well, definitely more will be seen. Hopefully they can bring themselves up. But speaking of going up, Pirates 7, we've seen some not so good performance. First game that they have 0 points, but as they move along, that's where they evolve. That's where they get more. And if I'm not mistaken, they got 3rd place on the last game. So Pirates 7 is really showing up that they might be able to cross over that 2nd column of our leaderboard. And, well, get into the knockout stage. And that would be the same goal for the others, like Red Eagle, Los Cubanos, and the rest. But it seems like it is only close up until, what, Flex and TTK. And Ty Lee, sorry, but Flex needs to do a lot more in these games.
I mean, Tylee, Tylee's all about the underdog sometimes. So, you know what? I'm glad you brought up Pride 7 because I was thinking of another underdog, the supreme underdogs, SNPT. Amazing when it comes to placement points, horrible when it comes to fighting eliminations out there on the battlefield. The only reason why they keep ending up on my troll list is because as a shoutcaster, the worst thing that could happen to me is to have 4 team members with very similar names. And these guys, man, these guys just had to do it, right? You have Supreme, Supreme 2, Supremo, Supremo 2. You guys are asking for it, okay? You better perform. I guess they're doing us a favor by not getting a lot of eliminations because then we don't have to do a play-by-play with these boys involved, right? But I would love to see it.
Or give it doing us a favor as well of saying only a few names and not so much of confusion out there. Because imagine switching over. We might not know who's going for who, but at least if you say Supreme and Supremo, they don't know the difference.
we still do say those names though, because these boys are survivors. They keep getting capped, but they keep surviving, which means we at least say their names on those revives. Come on, SNPT, this is not what we want, all right? Day 1, you're going to throw that out of the window. I say no judgments, but maybe just a little bit. Day 2, we got to see some action. We got to see a little bit more than survival. Yeah, we all want those booyahs. We all want those placement points. I think SNPT is the supreme underdog, right? Pun intended. I love them. I see a lot of potential here because this is what teams are not able to do most of the time. Survive in a damn survival game. Right? Get to the final circle and then play some good game of Free Fire. Many teams, they play a good game of Free Fire and then they get eliminated so early, allowing some of the dominators to continuously dominate, right? SNPT, they can't fight much so far, but they're getting into those final circles. So if they improve their engagement, bro, T-Rex, you better watch out.
And one thing about Supreme and SNPT.
See, even you're confused, man. The whole damn Supreme.
If you play in a pub match with this team, they might be the one causing. The teams are back from the ashes because they're always reviving, a full revive. So
is that
So expect that a team like this has made it. And this is one thing that we were talking about with everyone, the viewers out there. You might be the next team that will be joining FFUSC because there's a lot of potential right here. There's different, from different side of the spectrum, we've seen gameplays of aggression, passive, and a mix of both. So all you have to do is watch the games, study what they're doing right here, improve based on your game style, and we might see you next.
Or just get absolutely horribly mortified by some of the bad plays out here. Judge them, and then try to do better with your squad out there on the battlefield. And and just bring whatever you guys can to the table. I mean, give these guys a run for their money. There's so much of cash. Like I said, when you're old as Mr. Neptune here, all right, when he's got 3 kids, he needs more than $1,000 US. But when you're 16 years old, you're still in school, you're making some cash off of playing video games and just doing one heck of a job. I mean, I'm reminded of what we saw at the Esports World Cup, Neptune, right? You had this 16-year-old kid from Indonesia, make his first international debut at Esports World Cup and run away with the trophy at the end of the day. Running away with a truckload of cash. That was insane stuff, right? And that's exactly what is on the table here. $30,000 US for anybody that is absolutely in love with Free Fire. And, if you're casually picking it up, and if you're really, really good, it's time to see if or not you can squad up, see if you can find a couple of friends, because I think that's exactly what these guys have done. And this actually brings me back to the conversation that we were having yesterday. It's not just about new players entering the battlefield. It's also about these teams who are out there struggling in a way, kind of scouting to see how can they elevate their game by maybe taking a member from a different squad, right? Because usually you don't see these. You maybe find some scrims out there, but you don't see players who can maybe stop you from dominating these usual lobbies that you dominate together with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to all those adjustments, all those changes in the upcoming season. And the reason why we're telling this to the viewers out there is because, again, other than the FFUSC is still young, it's very early to like squad up and do all those tactics, do all those reconnaissance, I would say, the play style of the other teams, but also the potential that it would grow even bigger. And so it's not just the teams who are making it grow. The viewers out there, the survivors out there who are watching in whatever platform we are in, is also helping it grow. Because if this goes up, like talking about huge, imagine how many spots FFUSC would have in a global stage, and that's what we want to see. All regions from all across the globe going in for the FFWS Global Finals, and oh my goodness, we might not just be seeing 18 teams or 12 teams, even more.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about big things here, Neptune, and I don't know if or not we are ready for a conversation that big. But what we know for sure is the fact that the game's already on. You know, Free Fire's already explosive. We are a big thing in the world.
Record-breaking.
FFUSC, we are just catching up here, right? So it's a great time to pick up the game. It's a great time to go out there and show exactly how you can dominate. So, Juicy Sports, we've got T-Rex, we've got a little bit of action that we can expect from the other squads from C&D, Rosario Central, PvP in here today. I can't wait for that, man.
Yeah, well, really looking forward to it. And, well, for those teams who didn't do that much, especially for Group A, TTK, not so much of points coming from them. Chicago team, I mean, very unfortunate. I know that they might not be expecting this much because of some changes that happened. They were introduced a little bit late, but I think after that, after yesterday, there will be, or we might be seeing some changes, some improvement overall, probably with their weaponry, probably with their drop spot or their rotation, but that is what we need right now. Same goes for Red Eagle in Group C and Group D. Red Eagle at Cold Esports, they need a lot more points, only 15 and 14 for Cold Esports and Red Eagle respectively, and same goes for Los Cubanos and Team Flex. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it begins now, not tomorrow, not for the next day, but I know you're going to give them a little bit of leeway because it's just week one, but for me, like, act as if this is grand finals and you will see wonders.
So, it's a problem with Asian parents. The Asian father right here.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, right? I mean, I think we got to go all out. We do have 3 weeks to get this done, but you don't have a lot of games within every day of play, right? You only get 3 matches. And I think yesterday, the teams who kind of dropped the ball, they didn't fail. In my books, they didn't fail. Because in a regular day where you play 6 matches, you know, I've seen teams do nothing in the first 3 games and then still end up on that #1 spot by the end of the day when we complete all 6 matches, right? And that is when you play 6 games in a day. This one is not the case. We've got 24 teams, right? So we've split them up into groups. Every team gets to only play 3 games. You got to bring your very best. It's a lot to ask, which makes what the top contenders so far have done very, very impressive. But it's still a lot to ask from the other squads, especially because week 1, day 1. So yeah, we cut them some slack. But if you want to gear up, you got to gear up now because you never know who is still the sleeping dragon in the competition, Neptune, right?
Yeah.
You take a little bit too long, and the next thing you know, you're like, bro, why is it so difficult to get into the top 18? I didn't know these guys are that good, right? So we don't want to end up there.
Yeah, it's more of like how we see time, right? At some point, if you have less time and you're pressured, it would seem it's longer. And the same goes with scores. if it's only a few points, but you're only counting to 3 or final 3 matches, it seems like it's hard to reach. So why not go all in, put in a lot of effort? But for AJ's point, your point, AJ, there's a lot of room for mistakes. So that's the saving grace for the teams who are not doing that well. So well, let's see though if in Kalahari they will be heated up or probably ice cold, because we might see some of the teams really pop off. Or Zeus and T-Rex, same goes with other teams. E7 Empire from Group A and B might be showing up right here. It's a flight path from north to south, and the teams are already dropping in.
And the top half of the map is not going to be used up at all. Everybody want to contend for the same areas here. Multiple hot drops. We are starting off day 2, groups A versus B, with a banger for sure, Neptune. Even our high tier loot zone holds T-Rex, and I think they are ready for some carnage.
Yeah, let's see though if they're going to eat up their opponents right there. But Zeus Esports right now, no contentions just yet, other than the other team who's dropping a little bit further against them. But that gives more chances for Zeus Esports to loot up and to prepare for the battle at hand. But on the other side, we're seeing Brian already going for the takedown against Aleman, and Senior Wills will be going in for that shot as well. Supremo, Speng, and the Supreme SNPT will be in here, all spread out, but still, they are regrouping, just preparing for the battle in front of them.
Well, the Supreme team, the Supreme underdogs that I am looking forward to seeing perform a lot better today. They've got the high ground advantage. They just got to make sure they don't allow their opponents to sneak away a couple of revives here off that vending machine that's not too far away. And also have to be careful with that third-party situation. We also have a 3-way battle breaking down at the very same time. You look at T-Rex, you look at 787. This is going to get a little dicey here, Neptune.
Yeah, well, see, I mean, 787, I was talking about the improvement that they've shown from yesterday after 3 match, and it's a good start, really, to go against T-Rex at this point. But unfortunately, Darius will be revived by Bulakarn, and here comes a Minor trying to loot up as well and find their opponents. There goes the takedown. Pel Rojo will be eliminated right now, so it's not just T-Rex that they need to worry about, but it's a good thing that they can fight back against the other team.
Let's see if or not 787 can put an end to the rampaging T-Rex squad in a phenomenal way throughout the whole day. 10 more teams left on in here. Pirates not able to survive for long. And it looks like 787 are not going to be pulling any stops here whatsoever.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, 787, I think they're adding in 9 and 10 to their numbers. But for Supreme, once again, they have prime position earlier, but they pull away, and now they are down. So hopefully one of their players, one of their teammates, would be surviving. But unfortunately, SNPT taken out, and we are down to 9 teams. Now, let's see if this team will try their best next time, because compared to the other matches, other maps, Kalahari is something else. There's not so much of moving space or cover for you to survive longer, and even the vending machine are all spread out, making it difficult for them for a revive.
Well, Zeus just bumped into my super underdogs, my supreme underdogs, and show them exactly why they are underdogs in the competition, because when they are strolling around, nobody tops them, right? Zeus off to a fantastic start here once again, barely even at the 4-minute mark, and they have 8 eliminations in hand. The other top contender, the little dinosaurs. Can I call them little dinosaurs, bro? The little vicious dinosaurs. I guess they are baby T-Rex, right? Going up against ANX, no eliminations in hand so far. And Fakin is about to get clicked here. Player JK from up top. 1 knock coming on through. Fakin has got the MP5. 2v1.
Oh, no.
Great rotations round from the top and the left. Bolakan not allowing Fakin to do any damage whatsoever. You gotta love the flanks around from T-Rex.
Yeah, I mean it's not just a flank; it's three-dimensional. So you're going in around the container plus from
enveloped him.
above. They really don't know where you're coming from. And it's a good thing. That's one way that T-Rex is really dominating this game. They're not rushing in solo. There's no superstar right here. It's more of a team play, and that's what we love to see from T-Rex. But again, Zeus Esports would still have something in their bag if they can take them down. But for 787, slowly but surely moving up the ranks, and they might be able to add more to the points that they have.
787, very 6-7 yesterday, but now 7 eliminations in hand already, and it looks like they are ready to rumble. 1 elimination just straying away from them, but obviously that's not going to be staying away for too long. 3 eliminations in the hands of Manure himself alongside Sherma. 9 eliminations strong. 787 on a roll today, Neptune, and this is what we're talking about. The awakening of the mid-card teams who were not doing too badly yesterday. They were just always shadowed by some insane teams.
So for 7 and 7, I mean, they did have a lot of elimination in Solara,
GG.
and they're very close to getting to that 13. Now, for Zeus Esports 9 already, Wason once again was off, and let's see if he can be brought back in. And, well, David did help with that. Now, a little bit of distraction coming from Galaxy to save them a little bit of breathing space, but there's not so much of a movement that can be done, especially with Nash and Nashido on the compound, and Azukar will be hit by Wason. A little bit of payback with that M590.
Yes, use now 9 eliminations in the hands of these players, and they are not pulling any stops. Everybody they come across, they are obliterating, and now Galaxy or Universe, nothing stands before the gods. Bolt activated, and the lightning striking down the players one after the other. The jump pad used to find that quick rotation round. Nashito about to get clapped. AC-80 in the hands of John B. Nashito, great glue wall. Stays alive for the time being. M590, time turner, perfection by John B. And you cannot beat maneuvers like that.
John B right now. I mean, other than a time turner plus glue wall and then the M590, he just timed it quite well. And that also gives an opportunity to get away from a shot from the opponents of Galaxy, who was just hanging back in the corner. But seems like Zeus has spotted him, and Gooey Bot will be healing up. No way out right here, but I think the deed has been done. One of the players was revived, and let's see if they'll be able to get back in play if they survive Zeus.
Yeah, good bot with the typical bot moves there. No matter how many bullets you send his way, he's not going down, but it's just a matter of time, and M590 was on.
Dominating.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. 14 eliminations. Unfortunately, Wason's good as well, man. 5 eliminations, he's on Zeus. You're going to be saying it a lot.
Wason is on at that point. I mean, as a rusher, there's really a risk of being taken down. Being on your off days, I would say our off game is as crucial as, or it happens most of the time, especially for the rusher. So that's where the 2-2 split, the 3-1 split is very important, because you have a little backup to pick you up. But speaking of pick up, there's a lot of picking up needs to be done, especially by Chicago team. But McKean right here going against Chino, and Chino managed to go in for a hit. Another one from Chino King as a backup, and that's not a place that you want to be, especially if you're going solo. You need to be careful on where you drop, whether it's a revive or a launch pad, because this might happen.
Yeah, and Exodus Sousa. Let's see if or not we... Wait, is it an Exodus Sousa or an Exodus USA? It's one of those two.
Exodus USA.
Okay, an Exodus. Wow, yo. That was my best so far. I gotta clip that. I'm sorry for butchering your name, boys. But
I do understand why.
Okay,
because Anexados is not giving. Anexados is not giving you any space.
No, Anexados is not giving me any space, man. That's I'm dying, bro.
Bro, there's
a
a lot
day.
more. We're just in match 1.
Yeah.
The puns will become
We won match 1 of day 2. Zeus still not going down just yet. Next from up top. Shadow King, high ground advantage. Playing well towards the squad, but it's Zeus down at the bottom. No bolt maker pulled out just yet to torture the squad. Oh, for the high ground, and that advantage taken perfectly once again. X-King headshot with the VSK, drops one, but instantaneous recovery. This is gonna be a problem if they don't rain down those nades on Team Zeus. They are gonna fly straight into you. Cheeto King down on the ground, Pablo with the VSK, and here comes the battalion, and off they go. ANX does not want to play with King Zeus.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that the launch pad is there, and they managed to get away at least for the moment. The Zeus right now close to 20, making it a 16 to be exact, and they're continuing their role. I mean, what they're doing right now, if I'm not mistaken, is they're trying to get away from T-Rex in their rotation. They're going for the edge, and the moment they get elimination, they will be going in for the hunt. But this is what I'm talking about. If T-Rex is on their way, they might be taken down, and you see that from Wooden, and now from Wason. 2 players remaining. So this is the time that they need to pull away and go for a revive. Prioritize on that.
Yeah, be putting him down. Zeus, 16 eliminations, and they are going in right for the battle. David, A124 popped already, but it looks like the dinosaurs ain't backing away. This is a brand new series coming your way. Exclusive, not on Netflix, but here on YouTube. It's the Gods versus Dinosaurs. And David 444 just waiting. Winchester, level 2 in hand. And the rotation from the rest of the team members in already. Nade. Oh, I mean, great minds think alike. Both sending those lethals each other's way.
Yeah, let's see. There goes Darius down. Wason is definitely on half an HP, but player JK puts him down up close and personal with a VSK. Now, Zeus, well, instead of pulling away, now they are going down. Pablo right now still going for the fight, but unfortunately, there's 3 more players that he needs to deal with, and this is not the time to do it. And as I mentioned earlier, T-Rex are the ones bringing down the gods.
Yeah, that's the way, man. I mean, what a tear. Team Zeus was on, but the dinosaurs won the battle at that point. I mean, you can be godly, but when we drop back prehistoric days, I guess there was very little belief back then.
Little belief, and that's why the Kings at that point are leading the pack, and these are the Rex right here. Now let's see. Chicago right now. Marcos AK was the only one remaining, but there's only one survivor coming from Chicago team. So let's see if they'll be able to bring themselves back, but it's a little risky. At least they made it this far, and now to revive thanks to Jose 1v4.
Yeah, that's why I said live your name, bro. I mean, the guy, he was meant for moments like these. 1v4. I wanted to see if they could fight on. Went in for the revive, but technically still could be in a 1v4 shortly. But the world might just want to make it into a 1v8. Man's about to be in trouble. Shinigami's 14 eliminations on fire this time around. Looking for one time turner pulled out, but Caesar ain't gonna be getting away. 15th elimination for the Shinigamis, and finally they have found a way of death.
Yeah, the death gods right here, bringing death, being the death dealer. And their next contender would be T-Rex. And Ali Mon says, all in, let's bring it on. Quick revive has been done, though. Now, T-Rex just needs to survive. Otherwise, they will be taken out not only by the shots from Ilizer, but also from the zone.
Uy, Polacan, so lucky. Eliza, M82B annihilation. Glue wall after glue wall erected by the dinosaurs. But this man did not care because he had the best weapon in his hands at that point of time. Players marked behind those glue walls, and it forced an evacuation. But now that puts T-Rex right beside 787, a squad that is potential dinosaur eaters. This is their moment, but the pole maker just making things a little torturous. Everybody looking for cover. They call a truce for a few seconds.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, ceasefire for a few seconds, but the Blues closing in, and no one's in the next phase of the circle. And Shinigami's right now still on the hunt. They might be spotting 787, so it's not looking good for that team unless T-Rex gets ahead, and there goes a shot! Eliezer for a knockdown. On the other side, we have Chicago team being taken down. 4 teams remain at this point, and seems like everyone's putting up a fight.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. Shinigamis are the perfect example of mid-card squad yesterday, waking up in the competition today. If we had these 6 matches yesterday just between A and B, perhaps they would have served this up a tad bit earlier. Now, Bolakan and squad, T-Rex have not eaten in this lobby just yet, and I feel like they're hungry. But high ground advantage, Eliza, Godnade out of nowhere, and they are raining it down on the players of T-Rex. They need to connect with a few more. 2 players down, and it looks like Shinigamis are having dinosaurs for breakfast, but it's Cuba Libre that get annihilated first.
Now 787 going against Shinigamis, and there's a full squad 4v4. Now let's see who's going to get this first knockdown. Would it be the ones on the high ground, which is Shinigami, or the ones waiting with 787? The shift, though, would be favoring Shinigami, so they will need to movement already on the hunt. But, well, Emma right now for that hit together with Kamo, and the Shinigamis meeting death, and it seems like the Booyah goes to 787.
787, 867 no more. Beautiful play, and that was what we were expecting here on day 2. Mid-card teams, at least looking like mid-card teams yesterday, waking up in the competition, proving to both Zeus as well as T-Rex that they are not the only ones in here hunting for the biggest slice of that $30,000 pie. It is Camo, Minor, Kema, as well as Eric. What a booyah that was. I dare say the most exciting game we have had here in FFUSC so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, no wonder they're moving so fast. Like, Kamo is moving on 120 FPS.
That's a flex. All right, that's a flex.
That's a flex. You won't be able to catch him off guard. He would just go in and take you down. And like the combination of Kamo and Kima, from what I've seen on high ground, it's very difficult to get that, but it's a good thing it's Kalahari as well. They have that hook gun that they use in that final moment, and that's what made it possible. Because in a normal map, the usual map, they could have been taken down by Shinigamis at this point because the high ground is on them. But as you can see, their movement getting too close to the glue wall and then taking down the snipers, which is Eleazar. That is a key point, the key moment that the team has done in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. So the high ground advantage for Shinigamis, but when 787 moved onto that high ground as well, leveling the playing field, I mean, very literally, it was a no contest. Shinigami had no fight up against 787 when it came to the CQCs. Those M590s and Kima's flank with the VSK proved to be a surefire booyah on their side. Kima rocking the Skylar and the Riptide Rhythm ripping through his opponents. 10 eliminations, had the capability to mark, had the capability to earn extra coins in this coin meta right now. And this is what you need, supreme accuracy with that VSK 94.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Moko, the Money Mark, as you did mention, with that Suzy, as well as the Maro, a typical sniper build. And, well, we've seen so much of that in this update. It's not only Kima, we've seen that as well from side of Shinigamis, and a lot of teams that's taking advantage of meta, especially the map itself. And we know that Kalahari is a sniper's nest. So, well, no wonder Kima as a sniper is our MVP. 10 elimination, but this is just the beginning. This is the start of the day. There's a lot more that we might see from 787.
Absolutely, man. And I think if the best snipers out there are showing you what your passive build should be if you want to snipe in a couple of your own ranked matches, this is what it should be, right? Because Maro, you know, extra damage with the distance, extra damage to marked enemies as well with that Moko, deadly combination with the Suzy, extra coins once again, Neptune. He had more than enough to buy back his team members, but he didn't need to mess around with those revives all that too much. But check this out. the team with the Booyah maintains that #1 spot. Shinigamis do not outdo 787 with the elimination points, even though they got a massive game this time around. And Zeus Esports, although they got eliminated too early in this matchup when they bumped into T-Rex Esports early on in the game, they still managed to overtake them in the grand scheme of things, because how do you even get 17 eliminations so early, man?
17 elimination and only 4 on the placement points. And that is the magic of Zeus Esports. It reminds me of teams from Thailand who are very aggressive in the beginning. But not only that, if it's not for this map, if there's not like no changes in what T-Rex has done, they could have survived a little bit longer, and they will maintain their I would say top 5 percentage rate, or top 500% percentage rate. So let's see if this is something that they can. Well, there's not so much that Zeus Esports really has to do, because I think with what they've done, they could have. They looks like they secured their spot already.
I mean, it sure looks like they most definitely have secured their spot, but I am not done. In fact, they are riling me up. I want to see the rivalry between Zeus Esports and 787 Grow. I want to see Shinigamis, ask some big questions of T-Rex Esports once again. You see, Shinigamis, they took the better position, and 787 had the flank on T-Rex Esports when Shinigamis were aiming at them from that high ground. I would say it was not a fair 4v4. We could not determine who's the better lineup between the two in that circumstance, but maybe Alpine will give us a situation like that again. The teams that we were looking forward to waking up are fully awake, and this is about to be a party, man. I did not think it could get more exciting than yesterday, but FFUSC, they just stepped it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, they're breaking the streak of the top 2 teams like T-Rex and Zeus right now, and 787. Alpine won't be surprised if Shinigamis will be doing the same thing. It's a completely different map, but all they have to do is work with survivability, and because we know how they fight back on a long range. And Alpine is a place where, like, even in the Southeast Asia region, snipers are reigning. So I would love USA right now to dominate games that is often going used for CQCs. Take advantage of those long range and probably get a lot more eliminations, similar to what we've seen Zeus Esports do yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt at all. I think it is obviously going to be a challenge for some of the snipers out here. We want to see them pop off, but will they be able to serve up the numbers when the rest of the competition is waking up as well? Because it's not just in the offensive manner. Teams are getting so much slickier out there. It's so difficult to catch them at moments. So this is what I'm looking for, right? Aggressive, stance of a couple of squads who are still waking up. SNPT, for example, we need to see more eliminations. I think that game that they just showed us on Kalahari was a much better performance in comparison to the first 3 games that they took yesterday. But they only have 2 more chances in here. We need to see more points off of SNPT.
Now, let's see now. This is the time for them to grab our points, because from Vantage to Snowfall, teams will be dropping in Alpine. Now, we've already seen Vantage being occupied by a team and no contentions just there. And I think despite of not knowing the drop spot, there's plenty of compounds to work with. Compared to what we've seen earlier, as I did mention, Kalahari, early flight path, there's no there's no drops coming in. It's a different story this time around. They're covering the entire map. But for T-Rex right now, going against Galaxy Gaming, and it seems like the aggression's coming from Galaxy.
Yeah, thank goodness they have a player who's far away from this chaos, because these dinosaurs, they were left hungry on Kalahari.
Woo!
And we have dropped them into Alpine. Gui Chinon stood no chance in that encounter. And Bohan goes down as well, leaving Gui Goodbot all alone. But it looks like the Dinoculars are not too far away from the reach of these dinosaurs. Obviously, they're going to be betting on their brother R1. It's a different kind of dinosaur. Different dimension. Still a dinosaur.
Agumon. I was Agumon.
Agumon, yeah.
But definitely, I mean, I was expecting Galaxy Gaming to at least go for a knockdown in that fight. But unfortunately, they opted with using just a mini Uzi. Yes, they had the numbers, but the opponent has that as well. But probably the confidence comes in from that insurance policy that they have. One player away from the scene. But for TTK right now, going against SNPT, a revive has been done. And the dynamic duo! Godly, not looking so godly at this point. And there goes Pussycat for a shot. Even a turnaround. Slick and on his speed, but unfortunately has been taken down.
I was looking forward to SNPT waking up. TTK, they were dropping the ball. SNPT picking them all up, and then out of nowhere, here comes Zeus flying on in, pulling out the bolt maker of all things as well to torture the two squads, sneaking away those points. Dirty play, but you gotta love it.
Definitely. I mean, that's how they roll here. Gunshots, and they're pulled right in. Seems like gunshots are the magnet for Sue's esports at this point, and that's one reason why they're taking advantage of that to get a lot more elimination. But for Galaxy, they did manage to go for one revive, and well, expect who would be revived by Gui Gui, but none other than Gui Gui himself.
Nashito, Zucker. Uh-oh, Zeus. Rotating around. This is not good. David's right behind S4L, who's got the high ground. Pablo tagged up. Nash, great shot with the jump pad. Pablo will quickly rotate around, and this is now a 2-2 split on the side of Zeus. I would not approach if I was Team CL, but the problem here is CL has no idea who they're messing with. Winchester to the back of the head, and that was the first. CL's about to be in a lot of trouble. If I was Cuba Libre, I would get out of there.
Yeah, let's see if Azucar can get out because it's receiving a lot of shots right now with 3 players still on the board, David and Pablo as well. Now let's see if John B will still be able to get that shot, but he might be taken down by David, but no! Prioritizing in the blue wall.
Beauty.
Good time Turner to get away from John Baby, but not for long.
Oh, wonderful. Pulls out the mini Uzi as well. Was there to pick up the slack if in any case that rush goes wrong. But Pablo down on the ground. Zeus perhaps might have met their match in Cuba Libre. But I say that in jest as the final player gets taken down. And the first squad to get annihilated, courtesy of Zeus. And it wasn't the first one they tickled here on this map.
Hell, let's see now. I mean, one team eliminated already, Cuba Libre. Well, will not be getting any free spot right here if this is their performance. And it's just unfortunate they have to deal with team just like that. Zeus Esports is really definitely on a hunt. Now, for Shinigamis right now, going in for their usual ways, but it's a good start for them. They might be able to take advantage of their position as well as the numbers against Marcos right now, but a little bit delay in those shots that could have been dealt with early. And, well, these 2v3 at the moment. And Aleman goes down for a shot from 1v4 Jose.
Well, Shinigami's doing perfectly well on Kalahari. Time Turner looking to save them, but walking straight into their defenses, dropping them like they hot. Leaving Eliza all alone and Jose 1v4. Well, technically it's a 3v1 Jose, so I don't know. I don't know about that name.
Well, let's see now. I mean, Eliza. Let's see if he will be the Horizon line that would bring back the rest of the teammates. But Chicago team, I'm loving this. I mean, Chicago team's version right now is what we want to see. But unfortunately, the 1v1 against the MVP, bro.
You cannot do that. Unfortunately, they are so lucky they had Caesar. Man goes in for a double revive. 787 is out. Courtesy of Z-Tox pulling that final shot. And I cannot believe what we are seeing out here. Cuba Libre down and out. 787 down and out. We are left with 10 more squads.
Well, let's see now. 10 squads, but it seems like there's a lot of engagement. It looks fast, but the elimination part is slow. Shinigamis though, Eleazar, is trying to find a vending machine, at least a revive platform to work with, but none would be outside of the zone. Now, T-Rex right now is on the hunt, seeing if they can reach for the stars because they're aiming for Galaxy.
Yeah, but terrible position here for T-Rex. How do they survive this one? Put in opportunity. They use the terrain to their advantage. Lay down the jump pad. They want to take the fight straight to Galaxy. Flying straight in for battle. Gui bot, you better run. 2v1 time. T-Rex about to have yet another meal. Darius Eagle Winchester pulls the 180. Gui bot stood no chance.
And I love seeing players with a marksman using it as shotgun, and it's very efficient. It's like you have an M1887 in your hand with a Winchester, but it's a marksman. So it's just surprising how well these players are, but there's no surprise. That was T-Rex right there. Now, 9 teams remaining, E7 right now. Compared to what we've seen from them yesterday, it seems like they are running it slow in terms of elimination. There's no need to rush because they did put a good number, and they don't want to be falling off the board by being taken out a little bit early. So I guess this is a smart move from E7 Empire.
I mean, not bad at all. I think E7's kind of got their strategy down, but where they do struggle is finding those placement points. Engagement-wise, I think I would bet on E7 on a good day, but placement points, if you are not finding those circles, if you're not surviving in a battle royale, you've got a problem, my friend.
And that's one reason. Like there's so much emphasis right now in getting that booyah, especially in champion rush condition, because that is the name of the game. That is where you really get the most points. Not only in surviving longer, but if you survive longer, there's potential of getting more elimination plus the 12 placement point. But it's a good thing. Thank you, production, for giving us a bird's eye view or a map view. Looking at where everyone is, it's Anaxados who might be in a very good spot right now, especially when that next zone closes in, but they need to be careful because it seems like Zeus is still in hunt and Militia is the only compound that might be available for them.
Look at Supreme heading out, trying to desperately bring his squad members back in here. Eliza doing the same at Vantage. And poor boy is picking up coin machine after coin machine, probably broke as hell, trying to bring his team members back. But I really do not understand why these teams do not want to use the revival platform, especially when you are desperate for some coins. You can save a lot of your time, but there are some advantages, I guess, that you can have of those vending machine revives as well. As Wills now, sorry, is that Sir Wills or Senior Wills? How do I say this, bro?
Let's just go for Wills.
There's
a Wills, there's a way.
I will call him Will. Hey, David, I mean, come on, man. Give them a break. SNPT, let them survive, Zeus. They say no.
No. I mean, going back to your question on why the revival platform is not being used, especially in this in competition or tournament servers just like this, is because it shows up in your location or that revive platform being activated. So if Zeus is still alive, definitely they will be rushing against you. So that's one probability why SNPD is not using it, despite of like them being able to save more on Free Fire coins. But let's see if they can go or still go for a full revive, because they're still alive in this game. SNPT can still be brought back.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Shout out to Bat Lupin on the YouTube chat. Man is a little sad that his squad did not make it for FFUSC this time around, but fingers crossed. The next edition, we see them make it through. White as a nade bounced right off a perfectly timed glue wall, blocking that window. But now they have to be careful because backstab time. T-Rex, on the other hand, have a little bit of company to worry about as White just invades their house. HDP down at the bottom as well. This is 3v4. And the dinosaurs should be able to snap this one up quick, but they're not taking any chances whatsoever.
Hell, so, you know, I mean, it's
nice
the way that E7 managed to pull away as well. And again, looking at how the pros do it, you can do it in 20 seconds. Just pull away from that engagement. Supreme Supremo as well as, or Supremo to Supremo and Speng right now going for the battle and now surviving. SNPT is still back in play and E7 right now, though they met one and unfortunately they are now saying goodbye to another team if White or Jeff can make this shot, and they did. Wills is down, and E7 for the first few points. Only Jeff remains though, but one contender to fight him.
Aleman from the back. Both jumping back and forth, and Aleman does not manage to get away. Jeff will get the knock, but Eliza here to finish the work. The pickup onto his two members is gonna stay impossible. Eliza finally showing up once again. Jeff focusing on that pickup. White, is he gonna have enough time? Make sure he uses a Rebel Rush to get to safety. Belly Rojo will not be safe now. 2v1, and Shinigami's down. E7 survives the bout, but barely.
Grubb like the timing. I love the timing in there of using that basic therapy just to make sure that he will not be taken down by the zone, and it gives them more survivability in that rush. It's a 1v2 situation that could have ended very poorly if in case they didn't go for a pickup as well as use that active skill. Now, let's see though if they can manage to bring back the rest of the team. But speaking of bringing back, SNPT back in play and once again being taken down.
Supremo 2 down on the ground. Brian, I'm thinking twice at all, but Fakade with the nade. You gotta love it. Chino King brings King right back in here. It's now Galaxy versus ANX. This one's about to be a showdown to see who can sneak into the next zone and leave the other one out. Free 4 points.
Let's see. Brian, though, still left out in the blue. And a good chance for them to go for the backstab against Galaxy. Now, X-King from NXO's going in above, high ground advantage. Chino and Gui Gui might be spotted at all once he heals up. But, AC 80. Let's see if he can make the shots. Launchpad being used, information relayed, and there goes the shot! And it's X-King with a VSK. Perfect timing. And I was doubting that for a moment. I thought he's going to let them go.
This one, yeah, we are friendly, but we're not gonna say no to some extra points when she's not the only one left in here. Pick up, not gonna be possible. As Supremo goes in for the rush and SNPT, the Supreme underdogs are finally waking up, picking up those points. E7, the Empire crashes, but SNPT chilling outside the zone. This one just got so much more tougher. Open grounds challenge. I want to see a bolt maker.
Let's see, a point maker, and T-Rex has been taken down. Now we're left with 3 teams, and the only problem of Anexados as well as SNPT is Zeus Gaming. We know that 3 players from Zeus Gaming still packs a punch, so let's see on how they're going to play with that as X-King and the rest of the teams of ANX is getting in position. No one is on to next phase of Circle just yet.
3 more squads. Zeus down by 1 man, and they are gonna sit this battle out, and that's big brain play right there. That's championship quality right there. Zeus choosing to allow SNPT to deal with ANX, but they will take advantage from up top as well. Wasan pulling away the timing perfectly. ANX 2 players down. Zeus finally hopping on into the fight. 2v1. David, Wasan, Wasov, X-King. No King in a fight up against them, but 24 HP. Riptide Rhythm breaks down the defenses. A sliver of health for King, and the M590 gets the job done, and Zeus picks up yet another booyah.
On a 3-way battle, 3v4v4, Zeus Esports still managed to grab that booyah. And you know how it is. When Zeus Esports is on just like this, they will be grabbing a lot more. And this is the second game of their the day, once again, similar to what we've seen yesterday. But the only difference is they didn't get that much point compared to yesterday. But survivability is still on them. Firepower, mechanical skills used to the best advantage.
Yeah, I mean, earlier game, they were denied the potential or opportunity for a booyah by T-Rex, who annihilated them after they had picked up 17 eliminations for themselves. A mature elimination, but they were not phased because of how well they were doing in the initial parts of the match. And now this game 2, you could see a very drastic change in approach from Zeus. Not super aggressive all the way, making sure they play their cards right, only going in for some surefire multiple player versus single double players out there, always making sure they had the numbers advantage. But even down to the end, this was not a soft game for Zeus. 26 eliminations in total, plus the Booyah. How are they so impressive, Neptune?
Yeah, it seems like the aim is to get at least 30 points overall.
Yeah.
30 plus points by the end of each game. But, well, that's how it is. Zeus Esports, your godly team right here. And our MVP, definitely not off, but on. It is Wazon, Tatsuya Rusher with that Joseph Tiva as well as Ford wearing that AC 88 elimination, 3,266 in the damage, 1 headshot, and 9 assists. We were doubting if he can be this guy. I guess it really pays off.
I mean, Wazon is your rushing assist. Wazon is your rushing assist marksman. That's what he is. He is an all-rounder. He's rushing into these battles. He's getting the job done from mid to long range with the AC-80. He's picking up his team members with the help of Thiva. He's a walking tank. He's a walking annihilator. 8 eliminations, 3,266 on the damage, 9 assists. How do you outdo a squad that has got a supreme player like this, and he's not the only good one on the squad? Oh man, they are going to whoop some butt all throughout this competition. I am loving this squad already.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it seems like the dominance coming from Zeus Esports has been thought of from the beginning. Like putting a team together that can do so much, and I'm giving credit to the captain right there, which is Zeus himself. So Zeus Esports, after that experience that they have from, again, I'm still assuming, hopefully someone from chat would be able to confirm. If Zeus from Zeus Esports is the same Zeus from 5-star, then at least the storyline would be true.
Yeah, absolutely, chat. You guys let us know, man. Some of you know the community a little bit better than Neptune and I. We've been doing this for many years, for many regions. But being introduced to FFUSC has been one of the greatest blessings for us. We get to see yet another region grow from scratch. And dude, Neptune, I know you agree with me. We cannot wait to see some of these titans clash with the others on the global final stage.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think USA is proving to be a very, very worthy contender of some big matches up against some big squads. But of course, this is within their own region. Sometimes you dominate your region, and then when we throw you up against some of these other regions, you get crushed like a fly, even if you are a super dominator within your own, grouping. And I hope that that's not the case, right? Because Zeus Esports, man, if they can do this on some of the other stages, I think Free Fire has got a bright, bright future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, bright future. There's a lot more that will be happening, and there you have it. Another check on the board. Another check for Zeus Esports, tying it the number of booyahs with T-Rex, and if it wasn't for 787, it could have been a race between them and T-Rex. But well, I guess Zeus can get Purgatory. Won't be surprised if they can do it. But the only thing that they need to work on is eliminate or help another team eliminate T-Rex, and they might be getting that next booyah.
I mean, no doubt at all. But now, today, this final game, Game 6. Okay, it's not the final game for the day like yesterday, all right? Today, we will have 6 games. We will get to see for the first time Groups C and D in battle live on broadcast. But as far as Groups A and B are concerned, this is going to be the final game that they play here for this week, for today. It's going to be Game 6 Purgatory. And there's only one benchmark. There's only one thing that we need to see broken, which is 33 eliminations and a booyah. Can somebody do it? Or are we so unlucky that is the biggest that we're going to see in the competition, and it's just a one-offer, and we don't get to smile again like that, Neptune? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, we've seen the most in FFUSA. We've seen the most number of elimination being done by one player, which was from the previous season in Rosario Central's Escolta.
Oh,
and
yeah, man.
after that one huge deal, then it was just gone after those. Now, I won't be surprised if they won't be able to hit that 33. They can get close in terms of elimination, but overall, that might have been the peak, because how much more can you get in terms of elimination if teams will be evolving just like this from yesterday? It's just 2 days, and teams are doing much better right now.
Yeah, I mean, there are two ways to look at this. Number one, they have not fully heated up just yet. Yesterday was just a preview of what they're capable of. Number two, nobody else was heated up yet, and they were on fire, and they managed to cap everyone. But, technically speaking, the T-Rex was totally on yesterday. Even 787 was trying in a few of those matches really hard. Galaxy did, fairly well. So, I don't know, man. I'm okay with either way, right? If that was the biggest, I think we are blessed to be able to see a match like that. If that's not the biggest, I am excited for what is about to come. But of course, for now, what is to come is the final map in rotation for Groups A and B for Week 1 of this group stage. This will be the final battle, the final opportunity for these teams to pick up points before Groups C and D jump in here for Week 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to C and D, but, well, I want to see how the teams are going to deal with Purgatory, because knowing for a fact that Purgatory is the hellish map for most of the teams. Flight path is one thing. The final water circle is another. So there's a lot of curveballs that can be thrown onto a team right here. And it's a good thing that Group A and B will be ending their match day with this map. But I'm really looking forward to who else will be performing, because despite of how much we want to see the top dogs, it seems like they will still have a little bit of surprise to it.
Yeah, my oh my god was 3 seconds too early. But this is exactly what we want, man. Absolute pandemonium in this final game caused by the flight path. I got a sneak peek at the flight path before you guys did, and my heart did not drop. My heart is super excited. It is thumping right now. I want to see some super hot drops, and we get a three-way battle, and Zeus is involved in this matchup as well. It's Team Galaxy MVP stuck between a rock and a hard place. Can't get out just yet. Marcos sending out that Sentino far, far away. Can he pull that bait and switch for himself? Will be forced back by the Riptide Rhythm, and Galaxy showing up an empty hand for the time being, but not slowing down. Time Turner, same season, Chinon smartly runs in there, and with the numbers they overwhelm.
I love the position that Galaxy is doing right now. Full on, like, not getting away from the group. And this ensures that even knockdown happens, there's a pickup that will be done as well. The firepower that they have, but unfortunately, Chinon has been taken out. Gui Bot, the only one remaining, though he's not far away compared to what we've seen earlier. And seems like there will be so much trouble in getting at revive. So, well, it seems like Galaxy Gaming down right now for this final game from Group A and B, but I'm seeing great potential from the team.
No doubt at all, man. I mean, what a showdown. Shinigamis waking up here today. Yesterday, Shinigamis, they had a terrible day. 3 points in the first game, 4 points in the second game. And of course, they ended Solara with a total of 16, which is when we saw the potential, the true potential of Shinigamis. But of course, they outplayed their own Solara gameplay today on Kalahari, but a massive dip in Purgatory. This basically shows us that Shinigamis, they struggle in some maps and they are supreme in others. It's a team with very high potential. Just needs probably a little bit more practice out there, Neptune. And that's exactly what the group stage offers you, but you can't slack off.
Yeah, no slacking off overall. They really need to do a lot more in every day, every match that they have. So
Yeah.
right now, I guess it's the reason why after that early engagement, that hot
Oh
drop,
my.
there's a lot of silence that's happening, but SNPT will not be silenced anymore. Belly Rojo try to go in for a backstab. Now going in on the other side, a takedown by Sky. And let's see if Supreme or the Team Supreme SNPT will be able to survive that fight. X-King right now, fly away and manage to get away. Shots onto him, but it's not so much.
Brilliantly played here. ANX on for the chase though, losing fucking Zedox, Chino King, and X King. Not gonna miss an opportunity like that. I've seen a flying duck. I've seen a sitting duck. This is the first time I saw a falling duck, and ANX was not gonna miss a free opportunity for points.
And that's the thing. I mean, Pirates 7 right now just pirated that launch pad, but that was X-King just baiting them in, knowing for a fact that they will be dropping in the same spot, going solo. Great bait that has been done. And if you have that accuracy like X-King, no doubt that you can make that shot with AC-80. Now for Zeus, bro, 4 minutes in, 7 elimination already. I think they're going for another record.
You think? These boys have been trying every single game. White about to get clapped. Look at that rotation round, John B. No chance of survival. Absolutely nothing on his side. Riptide rhythm, 4-man flank. Talk about overkill, but that is how you get that many in terms of eliminations. 9 already in their hands as we hit the 4-minute mark, barely on the 5th.
Yeah, let's see though if there's a lot more that we can see from the team, and that's a gameplay of Zeus Esports. They don't want to go solo. If in case they do, it's only Wasong who does it, but he knows that there will be a pickup that can be done for TTK Monster Gudley. Well, that's one thing. If SNPT do this for every time they divide and conquer, they can get a lot more points, similar to what we've seen in the previous map.
Cuba Libre. Oh, Caesar! Gonna get away, Kima. 787. Making sure they play their recovery here today. 787. Fantastic Kalahari opener with a booyah. 35 massive points. And they got absolutely nothing in Purgatory.
I mean, they're carrying the curse right now, the Booyah curse, as we call it.
Yeah.
No back-to-backs just yet, so I guess it still continues.
No back-to-back, bro. That was back to nothing.
Yeah, I mean, they got it worse because comparing to T-Rex and Zeus, they're the only ones who went down early with zilch, nothing, nada. Well, let's see. Cuba Libre right now. Nashido. Well, let's see if he's going to sing El Nashido at this point, because he needs to be picked up. And there you have it. 5 points from Cuba Libre.
And this is a big thing from Cuba Libre because they have been struggling here for sure. No points picked up on Purgatory, just like 787. 12 on Bermuda, 12 on Kalahari, which was decent, but Cuba Libre were one of those teams yesterday that really struggled to keep up with the rest of the competition. 5 eliminations. This is a big thing here for them. They're definitely playing for survival, playing to not be one of those teams at the bottom when we select our final 18.
Yeah, well, this is what they're doing right now is, I would say, how SNPT has started off. Just going in for survivability, trying that much, and hopefully they can find a lot more in elimination. But let's see, though, on where they will be ending up right now. They are north, and, well, a few shots on some teams like E7 right there. But White will be spotted and taken down, and there you have it. Another point will be grabbed by this team. And, oh, even Jeff has been caught off guard. Cuba Libre right now on roll.
E7, not a good day here at all. Yesterday was a fantastic run in their 3 maps. Not as good as Zeus, but average games. And I always say average is more than enough. All you need to do is survive for the grand finals. First top 18, then top 12. But today is just not their day. E7 final survivor.
Oh no.
9. has got 3 glue walls in his hands and a boulder in front of his face. If he gets rushed, he will get rushed by one of the most vicious teams available out there, the one and only T-Rex. So, safe to say, this is the end for E7.
As you know, I mean, he is waiting for that hit list to expire, and it has been brought in by... well, it was brought in by E7, so it was T-Rex who's waiting for it to expire. Unfortunate for 9 at this point, it puts him in the map. So there's no way out. Little to no chance that he can survive, similar to what you did mention. But going into the other side, it seems like the hunter might be the ones being hunted right now. Backstab is potential. So this might be an opening that 9 has been waiting for. And this might save him for now.
Poor fella didn't even get taken down by one of the dinosaurs. It's the attacking squad down at the bottom, just laying out their defenses first. Up at the top, they lay out those deep freezes, trying to take away at the health of whoever who is up there, not knowing it is one of the most vicious creatures you can ever come across on planet Earth. Extinct, but still nasty. The game of Free Fire, you get to catch a few alive.
See now, position-wise, they have advantage, especially for T-Rex.
Oh my.
And all they have to do is wait. John Baby
Yeah,
for
man.
a shot. A little bit risky though, because you know how it is. If you're on the second floor, all you have to do is point into one corner.
No,
and
don't
that
do it.
is where you will be caught. Now, FGL right now, just to make sure that they will be funneled into one area, but it doesn't face T-Rex.
Sorry, my reactions were all on the battle that was happening off screen. Shinigami's almost got whooped by Team Zeus, but a 1 final second double revival will keep Shinigamis in the run. My goodness me, I'm a big fan of Shinigamis already. I hope they survive a little bit longer. But T-Rex now going back in for the counter frag as they find one after the other. Darius, no ego in his gameplay, only grenades. M79 laying out a double for the squad. And when the dinosaurs choose to retaliate, they are unable to withstand that sort of ferocity. One final survivor, but my goodness, what a timing by T-Rex.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, T-Rex knows how well they can time all those rushes, even like their own rushes and the ones against him. But John Baby right now on a 1v2 inside a time turner. It does look like he turned time around, making sure that he survived that battle.
My, oh my, Shinigamis. Unfortunate that they had to cross paths with one of the deadliest gods of Free Fire USA. FFUSC dominated right now by the Zeus squad. 15 eliminations in this game. And it looks like it is TTK. Time to kick TTK off of the battlefield as they fly past kings of this lobby. And look at that, John B not thinking twice at all. AC80 going for the clutch headshot. Godly Brazil not looking godly in front of John B.
Oh, Pablo picked up right in time, and I'm really loving John B's aggression right now, and also prioritization on going in for revive. Now, switching into M590, we know he has accuracy as well as a backup right here. Pablo is down once again, but no shots being made. Unfortunate for him, but the rest of the team is trying to make through, and Watson doing a number on TTK. And 18 elimination already. The one casualty, but easily can be revived.
Yeah, I mean, if you're TTK and you come across Team Zeus in a competition, it only means you got to change your team name. Because TTK only applies if you are the kings of the lobby, Zeus. It's always TTK for them as they bring Pablo 98 back in here. But Godly Brazil, props to the guy, multiple times made sure he focused fired onto Pablo 98, taking him out of the equation. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. But TTK not out of the equation fully just yet. There's a possibility of survival. As I say that, Nashido and Gang shooting them down one after the other. Jose 1v4. Will he get the opportunity to prove himself and his name this time round?
All backstab coming from David. Let's see if this is something that they can survive. John Baby not making that shots. And there goes a valiant dash plus a follow-up. And John B still making all those points. Close to 10 elimination already for the guy.
Man, many teams, many players need a change of name. All right, it's not looking good. It is not. It is not. It is not looking good. You cannot come in here with a name like that and then get clapped. Unfortunately, he went with a 2v1 instead of a 1v4 and still couldn't get away. And Wason still blasting off. T-Rex done in by 787. They are in here to play.
Oh, yeah. Well, Zeus looks like they will be getting another booyah at this point, especially when T-Rex is down. But they need to deal with Cuba Libre, who's looking a little bit better this time around. Launch panel already set up and a shot! With that AWM from Pablo, no pickup can be done, and El Nashito right now trapped in the corner. TTK, well, it's not time to kick, but time to kick the bucket at this point.
Yeah, Nash finding Chino King. Well, he managed to steal the point away. Brian dropped down as well. ANX not really doing too well up against Cuba Libre, who are having a field day out there today on the final battlefield possible. So props to Cuba Libre for finally waking up in the competition. Unfortunately, it's a tad bit too late to climb the leaderboard here with that final opportunity given. Zeus, on the other hand, going in for yet another booyah to make sure they top the table and they keep the record of the most booyahs to their name. ANX loses yet another one to a god day. David out of nowhere. Fakin about to be in trouble. Wason with the M5A. One more shot needed. Fakin avoiding trouble like a king.
Oh, let's see. Pablo right now, great plan. Shot to the foot, headshot to the foot. Let's see if he can make it. If he can make it, that would help the team so much to grab those points. And Vakeen is down. Now, another one bites the dust. And it's a final battle between the final player of 787 who dealt with survivability. But Kima, there's not so much that we can see from the sniper, especially if you're going against 4 gods like Zeus.
M590 supremacy, but 787 can't use that right now. Kima, VSK in hand, Riptide Rhythm response. Pablo 98 looking for yet another. Wason on the flank from the right, but Pablo will be the one to put the final nail on the coffin. And yet another explosive booyah by the Kings of Free Fire USA, FFUSC Dominators, Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus right now, the godly gods bring themselves back on the board. And wow, there's something else. The most booyah that we have in a day is now tied. And the most booyah and overall, like for the first 6 maps in rotation, would be taken by Zeus Esports. Now, I won't be surprised if John B would be our MVP right now because he was phenomenal. Long range, mid range, close range. Well, close range a little bit questionable because his shots on that M590, but he's deadly.
Yeah, I mean, deadly for sure. John B, Zeus, Wason, David. I mean, dominators, man. Almost look, they almost broke the record of 32 eliminations. The only problem in that final circle was there were no vending machines. There were no revival platforms. That's the only thing stopping them from picking up because they were cleaning up house, right? Wait, they
32.
32. So they could have beaten this if they got a couple of extra revives. Sorry, not they. The opponents got a couple of extra revives. But it wasn't the case. And look, yeah, I know you say John B obviously a MVP and he most definitely deserves to call himself one, but everybody on the side from Zeus just annihilators, man. I mean, bringing in the numbers, just not thinking twice, going in for these rushes. They understand. They are in a class of their own. Nobody, even 787, a team that's dominant enough to wipe out the living dinosaurs, T-Rex, were no match for this squad of Zeus.
And, well, let's see. Oh, David stealing that MVP away. A124 plus that Diva Alvaro, as well as a Moko. So, like, all-rounder, David 444, with a support bomber as well as somewhat a sniper build right there. Winchester in hand, 7 elimination, 3,107 on the damage, and 14 assists. Now, the MVP right here, if I'm not mistaken, is gauge based on the damage. So I won't be surprised because elimination-wise, yes, John B is doing so much, but you did mention about communication and how well Team Zeus is getting into position. So, well, David is doing so much in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't doubt that at all. And I think, obviously, the assist came in clutch here for David in the grand scheme of things. And it's just so weird to look at some of the lineup of active-passive skills from the side of Zeus because it's a combination of roles, right? Like you said, he's a bomber, support, rusher. Right? That's what he is. With that A124, he's the one on the front lines. He's the one disabling a lot of his opponents. You know, many of these fights, he's opening up the engagements as well. 32 eliminations, almost matching their record from yesterday, where we saw in Game 2, Nexterra, they got the Booyah and 33 eliminations, 45 points. They set the record and they almost beat their own record. My God, this is not a squad. These are gods of Free Fire right now.
This is not a squad. This is Zeus is an entire lobby.
Amen. Amen.
Like they eliminate the entire lobby just in one map, or I would say almost the entire lobby. But if this is what we see from Zeus, not just in the group stage, but also knockout stage, when every groups has been put in the mix, as well as grand finals. Oh my God. I think they will be running away with it, and I guess this is the prestige that they're putting in on their name. The dominance that teams might be scared once they are part of that group.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Teams are going to be scared of Zeus. It's very rare that you look at your grouping and you go like, oh man. That's what the other squads will be feeling like when they get paired up with Zeus in their group. Nobody wants that right now. Nobody wants the constant heat. Nobody wants the constant clapping. They do not want any part of Team Zeus. We all understand why, man. These guys are, I mean, record breakers, record setters of a different kind altogether. I cannot wait to see teams like 5 Stars, PvP, Rosario Central, bumping into Zeus, bumping into T-Rex, bumping into 787 Galaxy, all in the same lobby. That is going to be the best moment in FFUSC. I don't think it's going to be as monstrous as these rounds. I hope to be proven wrong. I hope that somebody proves me wrong. But I don't think it's going to be as monstrous because we will have many monsters in there.
Well, that's one thing I would say for teams. If there's a team to be dissected and studied, it will be Zeus Esports.
Yeah.
Just to stop them from like getting away with this for every day, for every stage of our competition. Otherwise, like they will be rocking it, and grand finals would just be Zeus finals.
I don't think it's going to be the case, man. I really don't think. No, because you see, in many of these fights, I think it's been a little bit of a back and forth. 787 has caught and punished T-Rex not once but twice now. Remember, even earlier, it was 787 taking that backstab, as another squad was on that high ground. I forget who right now. It couldn't have been Zeus. It could have been Shinigamis. I think it was Shinigamis on that high ground, and it was 787 in the back, and T-Rex got caught in the middle. It was 787 that got the final few shots up against T-Rex. In this lobby, 787 once again messing around with T-Rex, right? But T-Rex are capable of shutting down the Zeus squad. In a clean 4v4, T-Rex has proven that they can do that again. When you throw all these capable squads into one lobby, I think it's just going to be one chomping away at the other, who chomps away at the other, who chomps. We are going to see these points spread out a little bit more evenly throughout the leaderboard. At least I hope that is the case, man. Because if we get into maybe the grand finals and we still see rounds like these, I say give me FFWS USA.
Well, let's see. And well, so far, 3-match already over. We're going to go for a quick break. When we return, that's when we're going to have Group C and D on the broadcast right now. Once again, I'm Neptune, the Gentleman Garcia, joined by this AJ. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, survivors of all ages, welcome back. This is the Free Fire USA Championship 2025 Winter Edition. And today, day 2 out of 6 in our group stage. Today, we get to see groups C and D do battle. Groups A and B, they're going to be taking a little bit of rest. Now, they deserve to sit back and watch and see what C and D can do. Because yesterday, just through the numbers, Neptune, we understood what they're capable of in the competition. Now we get to see it for ourselves. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustachio, down here with my brother Neptune, the gentleman Garcia. We are your casters for the day as well as this whole competition. And it looks like it's going to be an exciting one. I was not expecting this, Neptune.
Well, I guess it's what's happened. When the hype has been brought in from the previous season, now a lot of teams want to get a piece of that prize pool. Now, T-Rex did manage to dominate it from previous season, but now Suzy Sports wants to take them down, and also the rest of the teams. Only 2 days, and there's a lot of improvements already that we have seen. And if we look at later on, we're going to see, and there we have it, we have our group stage, knockout stage, as well as the grand final. So week 1 is halfway, like the second day of week 1 is halfway done. Now we're going to go for week 2, and if you're surprised right here, I won't be surprised if there will be more that will be happening by next week and to the final week of the group stage. You know how one teams are hungry and trying to get in top 18, then they can do so much more in the battle.
So you've got 18 games in the group stage to secure your spot in the knockout stage. You just have to be in the top 18. You can be on the 18th spot. It doesn't matter. No one's going to judge you much, okay? But you qualify for the time being. At the knockout stage, you get a few matches. That one goes across 2 weeks. We're going to have 3 groups from the total 18, which means each team will still have 6 groups in them. We rotate through that. And you guys know exactly how that one's going to be broken down. And once again, like I said, in the group stage, you are going to have 24 teams in total. Yesterday, we didn't see C and D. We get the pleasure today, but only 18 opportunities. They've already used up 3 yesterday. 3 more chances today. We saw the dominators, and then we saw some of the mid-carders wake up as well. I'm walking into this one blind, and I will not take it any other way, Neptune. I mean, I was tempted to look at the score sheet and determine like who's good, who's bad, but I want to see the gameplay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we do have the numbers, and the returnees are really doing good because they do have the experience. They have that experience. They can bring the same tactics or even more after a few misses from the previous season. But now day 2 is happening, and whatever is in the scoreboard, and I do agree with you, might change similar to what we've seen today from Group A and B. So I'm loving the progression of the teams right now. And this is one thing that viewers out there need to be having their eyes peeled on how teams are making those adjustments. The minor adjustment, the small adjustment that teams has done. Also, the consistency for the good things that they are doing. SNPT for once, for Group A and B. Before we go there, prize pool right now, what's on the line? $30,000 US, and the champion will be grabbing a third of that, which is $10,000 US, which is huge, definitely for everyone. But everyone for the top 12 overall will be getting a piece of that pie.
Absolutely, man. When you say 3,000, the third spot, bro, 3,000, that ain't too shabby at all, right? No, I mean, totally understood. $10,000 US for the number 1 spot. Everybody wants it. But even if you are not good just yet, I'm not looking at this as you participate one time, you get a big payday, and then you walk away. It's not like that at all, right? You want to become a pro team. You know, you want to be a pro player. You want to turn this into a career. You want to do this for years on end. And Garena Free Fire is just getting started. Based on what we see, based on our experience, we can tell you we have come a long, long way up to this point. And the game has grown to a point where it's going to be competitive for a long, long time. So if you're really gearing up, and if you're a new squad, you really got to go and look for that sustainability, right? So 3,000 USD is going to help you a long way. How do you get these points? We've been seeing teams, okay, some teams are ridiculous, all right? 45 points yesterday, 44 points. That is not the benchmark. That is out of the ordinary, okay? The ordinary is around 15 points. And I'm a happy man. 10 points? Oh, you're touching my heart already. That's the kind of consistency I look for usually, Neptune. You know how it works, which is why the importance on the Booyah. Even without a lot of eliminations, we've seen teams survive in the past.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do if you go for survivability. SNPT for once, going back to that topic, wherein they went for survivability. Day one, yes, only that. But now they're putting in numbers in terms of elimination. So you can see that their main focus is just to get that final circle. But now they're finding it. They are grabbing elimination. So that is one important factor for everyone who's playing this in the tournament level, because you just don't go all ham in elimination unless you're Zeus or T-Rex. But you can also go with survivability first. 10-minute mark, that's where you start going for elimination. Aggression from a distance, that's where we see more of the teams getting all those.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm not so sure what the scene is like here in FFUSA. You guys let us know in the comment section as to how you guys get this done. I wonder if these teams are scrimming often, and if they're getting into these scrims, you know, which teams are they playing up against, right? Because if they're not doing just yet, then there's a very simple rule here. You go and find these boys, all right? Rosario Central, 5 stars, you know, T-Rex, Zeus. You want to be in lobbies with these guys, playing every single day, getting your butts whooped, all right? you need to get your butt whooped, and then slowly, little by little, you sharpen your skills, right? And you should be able to outdo them as long as you're sticking to the meta, right? Even we kind of see teams use and all. They're doing well now, but they're not playing true to that solid meta just yet. And true, there have been in times in the history of Free Fire, some teams have gone out there and said, we will play against the meta because this is our play style. That's how Brazil became the first world, that's how they took their previous, 2 world champions back. That's how they used that Skylar, and they walked away with that, right? Nobody else was really depending on that skill. It could be a squad like that. But based on what we based on what we have seen, based on what is very effective, it's just a matter of time before somebody uses that against Team Zeus, right? I really like the fact that they are all-rounders. Sometimes it doesn't pay.
Let's see now. Wow. Here are teams right now that we are introducing in broadcast for Group C. We have Blue. We have Cold, Novatos, who really did well from yesterday, as well as Rosario Central, the returnees from the previous season, Fox Gaming, as well as Red Eagle ACD. Now, I'm looking forward to what Blue, Cold, Fox Gaming, and Red Eagle has to offer for today, because this might be the adjustment. This is where they will see or they will make those adjustments to put themselves up a little bit higher on the board.
And of course, I'm looking at these names, I'm looking at these teams, and I know them as numbers, right? No, really. Even 5 stars. We kind of see... I'm so looking forward to Yaba being in the squad one day. Dabadoo, right? We look at these names, and they are all new names. We know the brand, we don't know the players. We know the numbers they can bring, but we don't know the play style. We don't know the timing of those jump pads. We don't know the flanks. We don't know the weapons of mass destruction that they bring upon their opponents. But we know that certain brands are capable of pulling away those numbers. 5 stars. We know this brand, you know, proved themselves in the previous championship. In summer, they were the runner-up, but totally different players. So is this a good thing or a bad thing? We get to see that today ourselves, Neptune.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, looking at the board right now, 5 stars, Novatos put themselves as well as Team Blue from 3 games. So no complete dominance from one game compared to what we've seen yesterday. Now, there's a huge chance that the 3 teams that we have on the board might be able to get a Booyah in Kalahari, Alpine, or Purgatory, but that would depend on the other teams. Whatever adjustment they've done or that they will be doing needs to happen now. So, similar to what you said, like it's just the numbers. It's just how many booyahs or who got the booyahs at this point. But the game style, we don't have any ideas just yet, and this is where it will be crucial for next week, because now teams from A and B, as well as those who are playing in C and D, would have a reference of what they need to watch out for when they battle against these teams once again.
Yeah, no doubt at all, man. I mean, you gotta learn, and every single mistake you make out there, there's no way you're not learning from it. If you're not learning from it, you are doing Free Fire competitive wrong, right? And you're doing life wrong. So fingers crossed, these boys learn. It's great to make mistakes, make a lot of these mistakes, but never make the same mistake twice. That is the secret sauce at Bermuda. It's OG. You know the spots. Even if it is a hot drop, you should be able to get to those weapons fairly quickly. The teams that know the game better will be able to walk away with this booyah here.
Let's see though. I mean, Bermuda, I'm pretty sure that there will be a slow game because of the familiarity of the team. Oh, this is an OG map. A lot of changes has happened already in terms of this map, and also with the meta that we have right here. So it's either the flight path that will be forcing the team to go for early engagement, or they're just watching out on the teams, the bottom feeders, I would say, that would be a potential target for those aiming to get more elimination points in the first few minutes of this game. So we're looking forward to it. I guess a timer is on, and in a bit we're going to see where the teams will be flying as well as landing through from Sentosa to Bullseye. Bermuda, the OG map, is here.
Let's see if or not this kind flight path will be able to cause some chaos. Either way, I'm looking for still a couple of hot drops, because like what we spoke of yesterday, Neptune, this is just week 1. So first time these teams are interacting on these maps. So there's not a lot of information in each other just yet. As you can see, already a hot drop in front of us. Factory's got to get a tad bit busy as well. There's a potential for a 3-way battle in a little bit if Fox is not too careful with this.
Now let's see now, Fox Gaming at this point, if I'm not mistaken, they are going against Flex and Sentosa. But most of the compounds is being taken by Team Flex, and Fox would be out in the open. Thus, the cautiousness coming from Team SKS from Otaku might be able to make him take a shot against Flots. But on the other side, we have Rosario Central, especially Kane, who will be hitting it with a mini Uzi. But speaking of SMG, Vector in hand from Tupac, just wrapping things around, and Otaku managed to get away. Now be shot in the corner that he is staying in.
Tupac looking for... I don't know if we should be using that name. Double vectors in his hands. This is not good. Finds one in the toilet, sprays him down. Choco finds an ale, chugs it. Extra points for the squad. And it looks like they're not done just yet. Snow 47 not backing away. Ice Raid finds him first, and the double vectors around the fence as Tupac gets it done.
Well, realize. That is what Tupac did say, and he's still at it as a choco right now. Well, putting a little bit of sweetness. Lots will be ganged up, and Flex will be taken down. Oh, sorry, Thyley. Seems like there will be Flex on to the next one. PvP going down as well.
PvP, we did not see any bit of that at all. Unfortunate. Not a single peep into the gameplay. We'll have to wait. We've got 2 more opportunities later, but for now, Bermuda sees 2 casualties as we sit on the 2-minute mark into the third. Brook finding one out in the open, 36 players. But, you know, I expected to see more revivals here in Neptune. These squads are ruthless, man.
Well, they're not backing away. I mean, not so much of an insurance policy that is happening right now. Sentosa, there's a vending machine available right there, but the split coming from the opponent, from Flex, is just wrong. or probably it's just a mistake that Fox Gaming just divided them and not giving them the chance for recovery. Speaking of recovery, FAQ right now, well, a lot of questions definitely for FAQ, and Kakarot managed to bring him down.
Correct yourself, sir. It's Kakaroto. Okay, you
Kakaroto.
gotta say it. You gotta say it like it's meant to be said. Kakaroto.
Kakaroto.
Okay, I'm sure he's a huge anime fan.
Oh yeah.
Skaminaru. Crazy. They all have to survive long enough to bring back their buddies. Needing those points, Kakaroto. Won't meet King Sito though. I love the broadcast. These boys know how to name themselves well, I have to say.
This is making it fun. I mean, hopefully it's not a tongue twister, or it's
You
not
know
the
it's
same
gonna get there.
at some point. At least it's not long that it will be like that. Like the only problem we had in terms of names would be the SNPT, wherein we got confused. But let's see, Hunters right now. Little easy name, and living up to his name as well with a Winchester shot to Allen, and there's no stopping him. There goes the Valiant Dash. He's still on it. 3 already, and probably an ace that will be following.
I have to stop the play-by-play for this, man. How could we miss that? Hunters just shot a duck, okay? On Bermuda. All right, Neptune? That needs to be clipped. We need more of that. We need more of this. Blew out in 10, 3 teams down before we hit the 5-minute mark, and it's not done just yet. Ozark versus Rosario Central is next on the cards.
Oh, let's see though if Ozark can bring up the numbers. Hunters need to deal with X-Kane right now. Riptide Rim. Guanaco managed to pull away, and well, again, Rosario Central also pulling away, getting cover. FAQ going in onto the flank, but might be meeting up another team as he goes along. Now, UAV being put up by Ozark. They don't want to risk their position right here, and like probably throwing off what Rosario Central is planning right now. On the other side, we have a Cold, and seems like they are ice cold as they deal with the Beast, and Ash will not be collecting them all.
Yeah, not at all. Let's see if or not. Cold catches a cold or gives somebody else a cold. I don't know, man. I hate it when I've got the cold. So I do not know how cold these boys are gonna get out here on the battlefield. Yesterday, they were fairly cold.
Yeah.
Not in a good way. I expected them to warm up. So fingers crossed they are all warmed up, man. So because yesterday, 15 points, right? That's not enough at all if you want to catch up with some of these big ones. And T3D finding the first one. Riptide Rhythm breaking down those defenses as well. He wants those open shots. But the beefed up glue walls just resisting these Riptide Rhythm these days. I don't know, man. Skylar about to fall off Neptune.
Let's see if Tambris can do a number against the team. Dabadoo saying yabba-dabadoo at this point as they fly away. And, well, that saves him. King Cito has been taken up by Hunters on the other side. They continue their role right now. And Ozark is becoming the Wizard of Ozark. And FAQ being shot at, unable to get away. Seems like Rosario Central is being nerfed after days of rest.
You know, one thing I noticed we don't use here in the FFUSC is that new buddy of ours, Nero. Right? Because the action is so hot, so quick. Everybody's rushing in there for the battles. Nobody's stopping, nobody's thinking, especially in the final circle. And we barely get to see Nero in action. It would be quite fun to see that, man. I mean, because you look at these glue walls, and they're so tanky. Your Riptide Rhythm not breaking them down so easily. You know, all thanks to the team booster, which has been fantastic. But I see some adjustments coming through in the next patch.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see though. Let's see. Like probably the fortification of the glue wall would be lessened. But and that would depend. If Nero would be used, that would be the balancer of that game, of that OB51. But right now, I do agree. Like Nero being used, especially in this kind of map in Bermuda, wherein there's only a few compound that can work in. And if a team would be like camping there, use your UAB or the binocular to spot where they are, and get that Nero up before you go for a rush, that's a great tactic if you're a rusher like some of the teams that we've seen right here. But, well, probably it's something that they're not used to. They're just used to the previous meta of OB50, and this is what we're talking about. If you don't use that, you will be faced against a lot of glue walls. Even the Valiant Dash is not that strong anymore against the fortified glue walls. So why not use that new character, which is Nero?
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, and this is exactly what I'm talking about as well, right? We've got some really good teams here who are not playing on the full-on meta. It's very seldom that someone creates a meta of their own and dominates the world. So if they don't catch up and they bump into some of these other veteran squads, they're going to get cooked, even if they are cooking out there in FFUSC right now. 5 stars, one of those teams that can cook. Runner-up from Summer walked away with a water cache, and they're back in here to conquer again. But unfortunately for them, we see some other Titans out there picking up massive points. 5 stars, only 54 yesterday. Not too shabby, though. Still the best from Group D.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, 5 stars right now. Because of that Aurora Vision, they couldn't really push through against LC. Now, good position being taken by LC at this point. Pale Alto, surprisingly using a Wukong. First time that we might be able to see that, and hopefully he use it to a better way, imperfection, not a Clash Squad's way, but probably a clutch. We might be seeing if that active skill has been triggered.
Yeah, I mean, I love it when sometimes, you know, our creativity shines and we reinvent the wheel. But there's a meta for a reason. But I'll tell you what the Wukong gets you. Some flashy clips, bro. The Wukong will get you some flashy clips. We might go viral with this one, so I'm not gonna mind the Wukong out there, right? You go up against the dinosaurs, the Wukong pops out, and then you get the clutch knock, and then you kick maybe Zeus Esports off of their perch, and you win the competition. I'm all in for it. Let's see.
Bro, that storyline not only goes off meta, but it goes with nature. Because T-Rex doesn't eat grass. So Wukong, yeah, you're safe for the moment. So let's see now. Now we have Tom Breeze right now still on the compound, clock tower in hand, far away from 5-star at this moment, and good position to take right now, especially as they have the center of next phase of the circle.
Look, I think you might be wrong, all right? There is no proof whatsoever that T-Rex never ate grass, all right? I've got dogs. I've seen cats eat grass, and my dogs definitely eat grass. I am sure as heck T-Rex might have had some digestive issues at points, all right? Some grass eating could have taken place. I would not jump to conclusions. Let's see if or not. Joko will get the trip. Okay, that's what I love about FFUSC right now. You don't get a lot of these action outside, and now that's the meta play that I'm looking for. Boltmaker, not pulled off at the perfect moments just yet. I think some of these teams are still refining the timing onto that. Ozark, what a shot from afar. VSK Yaroa finds Reyes 23 on the drop. 7 eliminations and Hunters. The Hunter getting hunted. What a pickup. Counter on the attack. VSK Enigma hopping on in to get the pickup, and they should be able to survive this one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, despite of it being the 4th phase of the circle, it does put a lot of damage on your HP. Even Hunter is not giving a chance to run in. But there goes Rosario Central. Enigma being the mystery guy who takes him down. Now, it's up to the other teams right now to be able to put in the numbers. But all the focus would be in Clock Tower, especially for those who are in there. Tom Breeze would be one of those 5-star outside of next phase or next phase of the circle, so they need to make their move. The only question is, will they be able to get away from the shots from Kakaroto?
Yeah, this see, when you look at 5 stars right now, 2 eliminations, and because of the expectations that have already been set by teams like Zeus Esports, walking away with 30 plus eliminations, it looks bad. But no, that's anything but, right? A good team gets into the final circle, avoids the chaos, makes sure they don't drop their loot, makes sure they've got their resources on their side. Those glue walls are all intact for the final battle. You want to walk away with those booyahs. You want to gear up for the final battle. And that's what's going to matter when you get into the top 12. They are playing the end game, and this is why 5 stars have always been good. I want to see more from them, but Cole Esports about to end up in hot soup. But this jump pad might just be able to save them with a great reposition job.
Great glue wall placement right now, just to make sure they will not be caught off guard. But unfortunately, Dark Brown would be taken down as he lands. And Black from Cold will be ice cold into the dust right now. Red would be able to take them down for elimination already and being shut down. Not a place you want to be. Dead smack in the middle of everyone else.
My goodness me, Red Eagle. One final survivor. If the Hunter actually shoots the Eagle, I would be... Okay, Dragon. Okay, it's all right. Eagle doesn't get shot down just yet. Kane, Los Cubados will not be able to survive that encounter. And that was a perfect shutdown. Guanaco not showing any mercy whatsoever. Now high ground. Lover sustaining a couple of shots. Drytex down on the ground. Otaku with the perfect connections off of that AC-80 Neptune.
Let's see now, 5 teams remaining at this point. 3 seconds before the blue closes in, and only 1 compound to play with. And seems like Lover, or QK Lover, will be the ones in already together with a full squad on second floor. 5 star in position. All you have to do is wait for anyone to rush in, and they might be able to take advantage. But no! They are not in the compound, but the lightning zone is on them, so you need to get cover. And Red Eagle ACD being eliminated, only 4 teams remain.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at and see who's the brave team out here who's standing out in the open. It looks like it's Fox Gaming that called this lightning zone. Boltmaker used to perfection. Time Turner saving Kappa. Great positioning on the Time Turner for the save, for the pickup. To Park with the rest of his Fox Gaming squad, looking for the eliminations. Glue Wall's gonna help them be up on their feet a little bit longer here before this encounter.
Let's see now, as the 3 teams go against each other. 10 elimination already coming from Fox, but unfortunately Choco has melted, and he will be taken out. 5 star lost 1 as well, and Dior, Dragon, and Dabadoo, well, that is triple D at this point that they will need to go fight against a full squad of Tambris. Now, if they can get in position, Tambris can be caught off guard, Bison in hand, and let's see if he can sing Tung 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 Zahur on the rush, and there goes a hit. Unfortunately, only Dragons remain for 5 stars going against 3 players from Tambris.
Yeah, Drytex just on fire right now with the Bison, almost got shut down though with a sliver of health left on him. Lightning Zone finally peters off. No extra damage raining down from the skies, but you gotta worry about the M590. Nick turned on. Beautiful shot from afar. Otaku dropped as well with the VSK. Tupac finding one of the M590. The shotgun's coming out. Fox only have 1 final survivor. Hunted down by Tambris Esports, who walks away with a solid booyah.
Definitely a solid booyah and 22 total points. He even tying it up with Ozark, who did quite well. But let's not take it away against Drytex, Kappa, QK Lover, and Nyx at this point. Tambris Esports. So there's a lot of pressure that they felt from the mid part of that game, but towards the final moment, they know how to position themselves, making sure that they will not be caught off guard, maintaining their 4-man strong squad.
And this is what we need to see out of Tambris Esports. Yesterday, 23 points in total. That was not the kind of performance they would have expected off of themselves on their opening day. But it's all about the recovery. Remember, the way FFUSC has been set up is as if we are playing 6 games across 2 days, which technically could be played within 1 day, right? It's just that we've got so many teams, so many groups that we want to showcase that it's got to be split up in that way. And in technical terms, this could have just been a solid comeback. they can make their performance yesterday seem like absolutely nothing and easily catch up with teams like Rosario Central as well as 5 Stars Esports if they can keep this one up.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, Tambris Esports is one of the team that made an adjustment that we are looking for in every team once you go into next match or next day of matches. Now, if they can continue this on, that additional points out of the 23 that they have yesterday, plus whatever they can whip up on the next 2 games, might bring them a little bit closer in a safe spot, securing a top 18 spot in this game. Now, a little bit of replay coming from that previous game. Fox Gaming was really hot, starting it off, eliminating whoever was on Sentosa when they drop in, and towards the final moment they still managed to get a few more points but didn't survive that long to go in and grab that booyah.
Yeah, no doubt at all. It was a valiant effort nonetheless. And Kakaroto, some phenomenal fights here at peak between these two players. And at the end, King Sito, of course, would bump into Mr. Kakaroto. You know exactly how that one broke down, but making sure we highlight our MVP off of Tambris, QK Lover 7, 4 eliminations, rocking the Skylar. And this is definitely a typical sniper build, but the more aggressive kind. You have got your Maro, you've got your Raphael, and you have got a capability to annihilate from a distance very, very quickly. Although he didn't get involved in as many of those engagements as we would have liked to see.
Well, one thing I'm seeing right here from QK Lover is he's not wearing that Moko. So he does put in a lot of damage, but most of the time he's not the initial fragger. He's not the initial one putting in so much. Probably the ones who confirm or probably adds more from a distance. A sniper, that is important as well. If you get a whiff of where the opponents are, just wait on them, especially if your teammate has a Moko on them, then that would mark them. All you have to do is wait. And snipers has that patience. Hopefully he gets more in terms of elimination, bringing much more prestige for his performance. But prestige otherwise, booyah for Tambris Esports with 10 elimination brings 22 more to the 23 that they have yesterday.
Yeah, welcome back to the reality of realistic scores, okay? This is what we are used to seeing, okay? Yeah. This looks like a regular game of Free Fire. I mean, still very much top heavy. You do have a lot of points, lots of action out there. We love to see it. And of course, some bottom feeders who are still getting tossed around in the competition. Some of them caught a cold. Cold Esports not doing all that too good. But you can also see Novatos that did phenomenally well yesterday, struggling today. Rosario Central only pulling away 8 points. And that means it's a good sign, right? The teams are waking up when they did not really perform well yesterday. And we could also look into the factor of the maps. Kalahari, Alpine Purgatory, maybe just wasn't their flavor, right? Bermuda, Nextera, Solara, on the other hand, could be a game changer for some of these squads. So 2 more games to go, but the first one taken away by Tambris.
Yeah, well, Tambris are already on that first booyah for the day. Nextera is on. And if we've seen a slower gameplay, a little bit more of camping in Bermuda, a lot more will be happening in Nextera. The only saving grace, though, is it doesn't, there's a huge chance that a lot of teams will be occupying, especially when we are in the final circle, a lot of compounds, and this is the moment that they can utilize that Nero active skill. If they can use that spot where the opponents are, again, it's whether you use a binoculars, whether you use whatever Aurora Vision, at least you get information where the opponents is. Use that Nero cryo mine and then go for a rush. That is a done deal. You might be able to eliminate a squad as quickly as that.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the kinds of things you need to be looking out for. It can make the difference between a booyah or a early elimination in these matches. Nextera, as we whip up match number 5 for you guys for groups C and D. Let's see if we can catch a couple of more of these big hitters climbing up the leaderboard here using this map. Very specifically, Novatos as well as Rosario Central. I want to see a little bit more, Neptune.
Yeah, well, let's see, though, if this is where we see a lot more from those teams going against each other. Because so far, Rosario Central for this day, I don't know, probably the reset has slowed them down. It doesn't look like the Rosario Central that we were expecting to see, especially as they are returnees right here. But, well, again, other teams are already improving after a day's rest, a few more, and that's where we might see RC or Rosario Central move back into play if Kane can whip up a good plan in this fight. But going in from the south, from Deca Square to Intellect Center, that will be our flight path, and let's see where they land.
Yep, let's see where they'll land, because a couple of more hot drops, and that could just be the factor between you finding some extra points or getting annihilated early. And I think if you're already struggling, the best thing to do is to just bide your time, drop far away, definitely far away from the blue circle. No high tier loot for you, but just take your chances and play the game of time with that loot, which could just be a little bit of an insurance policy. But Rosario Central not looking for that. Getting a drop onto Fox Gaming. They want to make sure they punish early.
Let's see, this is revenge coming from Rosario Central, especially from what happened earlier. Now, let's see if Fox can whip up Plasma Gun from Tupac. Well, good weapon to be used in the early engagement, but not for long. And FAQ picks up the same weapon against Fox Gaming, and they have 3 elimination already. So, well, doing the math, it's basic. Only 1 to go for Fox Gaming. And Vending Machine is very close. Otaku, though, is not close enough and needs to back away.
Yep, needs to find an opportunity to bring the rest of his team members back, because Rosario Central were not messing around in that situation. Osaka, on the other hand, 1 elimination on their squad. It's the Hunters. The highlight player. Dude, Hunters is just going to make so many clippable moments for us as he hunts the very specific prey that he needs to come across here. There are a variety of combinations that can make me go I'm going to laugh too much. I hope they survive. Just for that, I want Ozark all the way in the grand finals, all right? We need more time with this.
Yeah, we want to see them, we want to see Hunters to be hunting T-Rex, not just ducks.
Yeah. I can imagine it already. That's what we need. See, this is something you get in FFUSC that we don't get in many of the other regions, because, Asian countries, even foreign languages, right? Most of the puns we just don't get. Most of the gaming names we don't get. See, these names, the majority of them, they're in English. Thank God. We get the joke immediately, and the dad jokes will come out.
Yeah. Oh, it can be a roll. There's a few more weeks. A few more weeks to whip up a lot of puns right now. But Tambris, let's see if they will put their thumb into the battle. I thought that was a nade. It was a glue wall melter, I believe. Or it was a nade, but instantaneously the glue wall was put up. Now, on the other side, a pickup is being done. No, a put down is being done by Snow right now. I know it's winter and snow is falling, but it seems like the opponents are the ones falling.
Oh, beautifully done by the guy. And Red Eagles, on the other hand, just holding on to the high ground advantage for themselves. Looking at PvP, this should give them the vantage point enough to pull away at least 1 or 2 points here. Unless, of course, enough money has been collected by those players. They've got the tag market. Ability to quickly reposition should be on the cards here for both squads if they have looted up well.
Let's see, though. Red Eagle, well, eyes like an eagle. Might be able to take that shot. And Reyes on the other side. John for the follow-up. Pickup has been done. Hopefully they have an FGL on them. Otherwise, that could be taking a long time. And you don't want to be jumping in the middle of this area in Museum, especially if you are inside of the opponent. Ash, though, trying to collect them all from the other side, but still managed to miss it.
If Ash collects them. If Ash collects them all, Neptune, okay? No, actually, if he collects them all, the series doesn't end. No, only when he wins the league. Yeah. So, which would be sad, bro. If these guys won the league and if it ends, let's hope it doesn't go that way, right? Because it's just like the booyah, because you get one and then you clunk out of the next one. Yeah, that's the one of those curses that I wish to not see here in FFUSC. But Rosario Central setting up a big battle here for themselves. 5 stars, Dragon goes down, Dabadoo peeking around the glue wall is Kingsito with the Mag 7, and Rosario Central about to drop some 5-star squad, but the turnaround by Dior, M590, 6, what a reversal, 5 stars with the 5-star gameplay.
5-star going to Rosario Central brings us to summer, but right now 5-star is on a roll. Rosario Central seems like they have a lot more to think about, and with the re-roster of 5-star right now is pristine, especially with how they position themselves on that ridge. Back to Red Eagle. Well, Red Eagle hasn't landed just yet, and they haven't spotted Flex or taken down Flex just yet as well. In a few seconds, the blue will be closing in, and Flex might be able to get away if they can grab themselves a launch pad. Probably head in onto the other side. Unfortunately, Los Cubanos will be eliminated, and we are down to 9 teams remaining.
My God, that battle between 5-stars and Rosario Central, I can't get it off my mind. We definitely need to get a replay of that one. It was a turnaround of a totally different nature. Rosario Central initially with the attack. The wraparound was perfect, but that boulder play falling upon them like the gods of death. 5-stars just came alive in that battle. What a brilliant setup. Now we have an opportunity here to see some big things out of Red Eagle. High ground advantage. But of course, they're not going to be flexing on Flex just yet. Looking for the reposition fest.
Let's see now. Here comes Mui trying to find his way into the highway, but 5-star flying in and taking where Red Eagle has landed earlier. Now, 5-star right now, no one to be seen. Blue closes in. That question is a smart move from them, taking up high, but seems like for Flex, they are the ones being hunted and being taken down. Not looking good for the team to catch up in the points.
See, I'm very excited looking at 5-stars and their gameplay. And this is exactly what I meant, right? We need to look at the gameplay. The numbers mean absolutely nothing, because what they just pulled off was the kind of fights that will be able to overwhelm even big pickers. Yes, you've got mechanical skills, but you know, teamwork is a different element altogether that can make the difference in some of these big fights. And Ben, fantastic, talking about teamwork. The glue walls, though, facing the damage, and he pulls out a time turner. Brilliant response by Blue. And Ben, my God, the savior and destructor, helping Blue stay up on their feet. Now,
Bobby right now being seen, being shot, and Ben is the guy who does it again. Now, Bushkami, Naru, and Karoto.
What the Ben?
What the Ben?
What
Big Ben.
The Ben. The Ben
Bro.
does everything. He bends the rules of reality. How do you do that? The Swiss Army knife of Blue showing off. We gotta see that. Is FFUSC all about the clips, Neptune.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of clips that can be posted right here, especially the performance, solo performance of the team. But speaking of performance, Snowfall in there onto Dior. And, well, unfortunately, Snow would be falling out. Pick up needs to be done. No one close to Ale. Now, 5-star already losing one of the players, but let's see if they'll be able to survive even more. For Flex, Flots Z will need to get in not only in vending machine, but also into the next phase of the circle. That would hurt them, especially as there's water in front of him. A zipline can save him heading in north of Plazaria, where no one is taking it just yet. And here comes a revive coming from Flex.
My, oh my. Okay, all right. How's this going to be set up now, Kakaroto? Moving on in. This is the squad of Novatos that have not woken up today just yet. Decent day yesterday on those 3 maps. Total of 46 points they managed to pick up. But only 8 on their... Oh, Hunters. Hunting a couple of 5-star players. Now that's what I'm talking about. And 5 stars going to be forced to pull in a couple of revives. And Dragon says no problem at all.
Yeah, well, let's see now. 34 seconds to go. Flex right now is back in play. 6 elimination, but Flaws is losing a little bit of HP. Quick recovery as he drives in, but that doesn't save the rest of the team who is in a boxing gym. Now, we might be seeing a bell being run right now because Blue and Cold, well, that's 2 teams that you don't want to go against at this point. Otherwise, you will be knocked out Black and Blue and Ice Cold in this mix.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Mabi, BSK gets the knock. And the pickup onto Duck is an easy one. Oh, Hunter versus Duck is still on the table for us.
Well, Dragon is there. So, Hunter and Dragon. That's one thing I want to see.
Gray has got the grenade launcher. As long as we don't see Gray versus Gray on the elimination feed on that M79, I think we're gonna smile with that one. But Gray makes sure he does not do that. In fact, doesn't he actually get the knock as well? Alan and Ben sorted that one out quickly.
I just realized we have blue, we have gray, we have white in this competition.
It's all about the colors, you know.
It's all about colors. Bring it on, Kakaroto right now. Trying to charge up and shots with the Bison. Alan Q with a turnaround with an M590 gets 2 in the bags. Blue is still on the board. 6 on their team right now for elimination and a few more targets, which is Novatos on the other side.
Before you think he brings disgrace to the name, you got to remember, man had to plunk out a few times, get revived, and then come back more stronger, right? So he's living up to the law right now. Novatos has got a opportunity to make something different here for Novatos. But Buscame and Mabi, although they do bring in the numbers for the squad, the game of numbers is totally against them. Taking damage from outside the circle and moving on in is just looking impossible right now. Buscame and Mabi split up on top of everything else. They need to hope and pray nobody finds them. There's a couple of more. Oh, and Mabi! I thought he's the one in trouble, but he is the trouble.
Yeah, Mavi right now, moving like a mob, despite of being solo outside, regrouping with Buscame. Now, good position to take, but after that knockdown onto Duck, it gives a damn information. But on the other side, we have Cold Black being taken down, and Guanaco is the one doing it. Now, let's see if 5-star will be able to go and take shots on team who's really on fire right now. Elimination leader into the next phase of the circle. One obstacle that they need to go through.
Oh, Red Eagles out. Joining Rosario Central. In fact, Rosario had more eliminations than them. 5 stars on the other hand, though. Jump pad in time. Doesn't go for the robot drop. Instead, looks for the opposite side of the battlefield. Great reposition for 5 stars. And that's the kind of big brain play that's going to help them overcome a lot of these big squads. Novatos on the other hand, shut down. Lover, not very loving with that final shot off of the VSK. But of course, he loves his team a little bit more. He loves that prize pool, Neptune. A little bit more. Dinocular scanning out all 4 players who make it into the circle. 5 stars going up against Ambres.
Ambres right now, M79, but still not making those shots. Now, ice grenades being thrown by Kappa together with the glue wall melter, but I don't think it would put a dent against that team just yet. PvP being taken down by John on the other side. Snow saved by that time turner, but M590 coming from right text, and Flex will be eliminated. Down to 4 teams at this point, and Ozark, surprisingly, 19 points already. They can do more.
Oh, this is gonna be a terrible battle to get caught in 4 squads. They've got the numbers, Dragon. Godnade out of Nick. And the pickup, unstoppable, one after the other. Being picked right back up, and Brew right outside the circle. What a flag from the left. Gets the first knock. Dior on the ground, though. Brew gets caught out. It's all about Dabadoo. Can he get the clutch and sliver of health? And they get denied by Tambreeze Esports.
Yeah, Tambreeze looking for a double booyah back-to-back, but Ozark right now is on their way. 4v4 situation. Seems like Ozark has a better chance of winning this game. 21 points already. That would lead them to 25 elimination if they can complete this. One knocking hit hard on both sides. Hunter's right now a little bit too close on Drytrex, but is not making a dent on his HP. But QK Lover says otherwise. Tambreeze T3T with that booyah.
And a super bomber of a booyah on top of that. That's what we want to see. The comeback. And Tambreeze, not too shabby yesterday, but not too great at all. 23 points picked off of 3 games. And just in this one alone, they hit that 30 bomber. And if you are rocking it that way, I am going to be very, very happy. I'm also happy that we get to see that Ozark Esports is not messing around. Yesterday, off of 3 games, we had them sit on a 20-pointer. But in the previous game, they picked up a total of 22. In this game alone, they picked up a massive number of eliminations. I'm pretty sure I saw more than 20 on their side earlier on, which gets me excited because we are going to see some great storylines of Hunter hunting some ducks, some dragons, some dinosaurs. Man, we're going to have a lot of hunting out there.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of hunting in there right now, especially with how Ozark played this. But Tambreeze just played it even better. Looking at the spread right now, yes, Enigma has a higher ground, but doesn't have an opening. And the moment that Enigma was isolated, there goes 3 on the front line. Backstab coming from QK Lover. That started off that rivalry, that quick annihilation of Ozark from that game.
Yeah, I think it was all about positioning. One team was focusing on one factor, which is close quarters combat. The other team had the flank, had the VSK, had the wider angle, and that was that distraction shot, right? Because a majority of the damage was coming in from the back off of that VSK because he had great line of sight. And then, of course, the rest of the team members down on the ground, they were picking up the scraps with the M590s. Oscar, one of those guys, getting the damage put in for Tambreeze. Drytex 3, 6 eliminations, 9 assists, 3 headshots, 2,273 on the damage. And this guy, when you're recovering, and Ford got a nerf, all right? But he's still in there, and you see the prioritization coming on through here. You've got the healing touch off of the Olivia as well. You've got Thiva. You've got the combination of Olivia and Thiva, making this guy a rusher support. You gotta love the fact that FFUSC is all about the flex, right? But I'm again saying I'm a little worried about this. I like the flexibility, but I am a little worried about the full-on efficacy of this when they play it at a higher level.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. They need to consider as well on how it is on the on the longer run. But right now, if it works, it works, and Tambreeze is doing great. A dry text right now is not hang dry because you did mention he's a rusher support, so it's either he run in with another rusher or he just goes like head on, healing touch forward, goes in for HP helping him. But Ozark Esports not far behind, 30 points, 30 bombers, starting it off with 21 elimination in this game. So this is the prestige that we are seeing right now after 1 day of rest. So what more after a week?
What are we even looking at in FFUSC? How is this possible? In one game, 2 teams have got 60 points. Okay? In combination, there's too many points. Massive revives coming through, massive engagements, and massive sweeps from Tambreeze and Ozark Esports. Down at the bottom, Fox Gaming, Los Cubanos, Red Eagle ACD, is kind of struggling. Rosario Central. This is unexpected, right? You know, I talked about a mid game. They're playing slightly lower than mid right now. That's danger zone for them. Novatos is hanging on. 9 points might not be great, but 9 points is enough. You've got your super dominators, and if you're planning to survive in the top 18, you don't need to be a super dominator. You just need to find some points, and these boys are finding the points.
Well, definitely. And going back to the question, why is this possible? We talk about the prioritization of the Free Fire coins in game, and that just gives more chances for teams for revive. And again, it's a great counter if you're an aggressive team who can make those shots from afar, from up close, and get all those elimination, wait it out until a revive is happening. And that's one reason why a lot of teams are hanging in near the vending machine. It's not for themselves, or not just for themselves, but also for their opponent, because give them the chance for a revive. Once they're in, you get that marker, then you make that shot, increasing your odds of getting a lot of points.
And the first back-to-back booyah of FFUSC 2025 winter for Tam Briz Esports here in the battle between groups C and D. Very impressive. Again, yesterday they were below average. Wait, okay, no. They were average. They were average. They were not below average. There were some teams that were below average. Yesterday, Tam Briz, they were average. Today, they are exceptional. Today, they are perfect. This is what we need to see. And I think we are really gearing up for a phenomenal grand finals. The only thing that I don't like is that we don't get to see many days of that. The finals, the top 12, only a one-day showdown. At least in the bout of the 2 weeks where we've got the 18 squads, we get to see more of these super house, the powerhouse matchups out there.
Yeah, well, let's see though. Let's see if that's one thing. And this is where we really filter out all teams that are currently bottom feeders. We find those superstars, those powerhouse right there who will be reaching the grand finals. But before we go there, all they have to do right now is aim for 18. 18 place, bring in the numbers. It doesn't have to be flary. You don't have to show all those, like, only your tactics. If you have everything planned out, you don't have to show all of those. Just reach at 18 and you're good to go for the next stage. It's like living. Like, you go day per day. It doesn't have to go, like, you have to enjoy yourself, but not risk a lot in that specific day. So that's one thing that the teams need to do right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, you know, I'm going to say the same thing when you're in the top 18. Just do a little bit more and then get to the top 12. Now, once you're in the top 12, you get some money. Okay, if you're a pro team, you know, and you're going to get paid to do this, I cannot imagine a more fancier career to have. I think it's really awesome what some of these players do, right, for a living. Of course, it's not an easy journey, though, right? It's actually work, right? People play video games to de-stress. You get stressed sometimes playing these same video games because you're trying to achieve something. There's a goal set here. You're playing it at a competitive level. You're going to see disappointments. You're going to see many days where you're not going to smile, be happy, but you're aiming for that one final opportunity, the grand finals, where you get to run away with something special. And because of the champion rush condition, this is the dream world, right? Because you don't actually need to be the very best. You just need to do enough. And then you need to do it one time, not 50 points. You can literally just sneak into the final circle, get one elimination, all right? Where you just sit out of everything, you get 13 points. But as long as the booyah is obtained at the right time, you are now the champion of FFUSC. It's not luck. For sure. We've seen that. Many people said, oh, this format, you know, it's very much based on... all right. Sure. I wonder why many teams don't consistently get lucky, right? It's a phenomenal format, but it really opens up the competition for anyone. And I think that's a great opportunity here in FFUSC when we get to the finals, since we've got so many of these insane teams.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing, though. I mean, it's not luck because you do find your way on that final circle. You do find your way to make sure that you survive for what? How many minutes? 20 minutes? Close to 20 minutes before.
Sounds easy, man. 20 minutes is short, Neptune, okay?
Bro, 20 minutes is short if you're sitting around doing nothing.
Yes, not in Free Fire.
Not in Free Fire. Like 1 minute in a corner, going alone, trying to wait for a team to move away from the vending machine. It feels like a whole day.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does. Right. So yeah, lovely state of the game, lovely state of the competition. I can't wait to see more. You know, sometimes regions get a reality check, right?
Yeah.
You are a superstar in your region, and then your region makes too much of noise. You get paired up with some of the other regions, and then we have like some, you know, multi-region clash where you see yourself getting capped, and then reality, you know, hits very hard. We've seen that happen for many other teams across the regions, across the world. You know, fingers crossed, it's not the case here for FFUSC, because if they can bring this kind of magic out on the world stage, we will not be playing for 30,000 USD.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be playing for, well, if it was the most recent one, 3 million, and if you win, 300,000, right? You know, and that's the life of a pro player, which we have seen these kids kind of go through, and that requires a lot of discipline as well, which is where the coaches and the team and the infrastructure comes in. So I really hope a lot of these teams actually have that, because most of the time you're just throwing together 4 players to try to get this done.
And it's tough, really. I mean, putting 2 players together who doesn't have that chemistry is tough at all. But if you have 4 squad like who is like playing with each other all the time, getting that chemistry like fixed up, and then making sure that communication is well, and then that's where you find a super team like what we've seen in global stage, what we've seen in the top regions, and that's what they have to prepare for. Yes, for now they have a leeway because they're not there just yet, but if that happens, why not do it now until waiting for it to happen? Do it now, work on those small things, those little adjustments, those micro adjustments, and then once you step into the bigger stage, you are ready compared to the other teams. Yes, they have good, I was talking about a specific team, but I'm not going to say the name. But they have good attitude because they know that they understand what needs to be done onto the next time that they go on the global stage. Hopefully, each team, each player has that same mindset, not on the next season, but on the next day, next week of play.
Yeah, true enough, man. I mean, some teams, they lose, and then they take it badly. They have some infighting within the squad saying that, you know, we lost because of this, we lost because of that. You know, no responsibility being taken. You see those teams fall apart very quickly, and those are teams that made mistakes and never learned from them. And then we see these other teams, like you just pointed out, teams that made many mistakes, many times, learned from them, kept coming back, stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. You know, and a couple of teams that we know have done that are world champions, multiple-time world champions. You know, even Buriram, many people, you know, said Buriram is just overrated at this point. You know, their players are overrated at this point. There's no way they'll get it done. And then they're like, 3-time world champs. Unbelievable stuff, right? And that doesn't come from walking into these challenges, losing and then crying about it, or losing and then saying that, oh, something else was the cause, right? They took responsibility for it, they fixed it. Amazing stuff, man. I mean, that's inspirational, but I'm seeing a lot of inspirational teams here in FFUSC as well. Now, guys, we do apologize for a little bit of a delay. I think, you know, one of the teams is having a little bit of an internet issue. Obviously, we don't want to kick off this next flight without the squad. We're not going to tell you guys who it is, right? But we are going to wait for them. Once they are in the lobby already, we're going to be kicking off this next match. I think it's explosive. I think it's good for some of the other teams who are not sitting down at the top like Tambris right now, right? Because Tambris is dominating. The other teams, I think they need some extra time to compose themselves, because Tambris is just playing this at a whole other level right now, Nephew.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I mean, Tambris, even Ozark. Ozark is also has put in so much of effort from the early parts on that game. They didn't get the booyah after that 4v4 against Tambris, but they still managed to match up the points.
Yes.
From yesterday up until today. If I'm not mistaken, they are currently, just for today. For today, they were tied on that final match, but overall, for the day's game, there's also tied with Tambre. So that's what Ozark has to offer in this game, giving like a little bit of rest, a little bit of chance to recover. They can bring so much into the table. Hopefully the rest of the teams, the other teams as well, especially for those who are struggling, like Gold Esports, Red Eagle ACD. We've seen some potential in their game, in their play style. For Team Flex, Los Cubanos, we don't often see them on screen, most of the time being eliminated on a kill feed. But for Team Flex, we've seen that survivability, similar to what we've seen in SNPT. Hopefully, they just carried over a little bit higher and then find that final circle. Once they get that groove on, that's when they start with elimination and move up the ranks.
Yeah, for today, only those two teams have just been kind of dominating. The one that you just mentioned, right? Tambris as well as Ozark Esports. Unbelievable plays. Both games where they dominated, Tambris ran away with the Booyah in a very convincing fashion, right? Previous game, 22 points. This game, 30 points. What's crazy is they got matched up with the 30 points because Ozark right behind them had 21 eliminations. You know, can you imagine seeing Ozark and Zeus in one lobby farming all these players? You know, the Hunter, maybe, the Hunter capable of hunting gods soon enough. I think that's good. I mean, I think we know it's going to happen, right? But what will the retaliation be like when we see matchups like that? I think it's looking very exciting. I'm very happy. Initially, I was like, oh, we've got so many groups. Now I'm happy that we've got so many groups because this anticipation, I like it building up, right? Because when we finally get to see it, it is going to be some beautiful free fire games, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anticipation right now, and also the preparation of what they have. Because most of the time, once we only have 18, the rotation is, it can go three-way rotation, but it doesn't build that much of storyline for the team. But now we're seeing who are the most aggressive, and then once we get into the KO stage or knockout stage, that's when we will see how they're matched up with each other. Preparation for the grand final. So I'm loving the storyline wherein some of the teams will not be meeting up in the knockout stage in 3 weeks, and then that's when we make those change. But speaking of change, now a change of scenery as we are prepping for Solara in this game, and I'm really excited on how this is going to build up right now for the teams. Well, hopefully not just for Tambris as well as Ozark, for the other teams who need those points.
Yesterday, T-Rex had set the bar for Solara, the Booyah, and 18 eliminations. Today, we have seen games capable of a little bit more than 18 eliminations already. Will we see that equalizer? Will we see the Solara record be broken here? It's the battle between groups C and D. And very early on, we almost get a hot drop here in the high tier loot. So,
well, that's one thing that, I mean, hot drop might be happening, but it makes it easier to get away, especially with slide rails. And if you have that glue wall available for you as well, you can be safe compared to using a launch pad. Now, let's see though, high tier loot zone. Well, I guess the battle continues in there in Waterfall. And let's see who will be falling other than water in this game.
LQD down on the ground, Gray. MP5, pick up. Too easy as Ben goes out on a destructive run, shutting down the players who dared touch his team members. 2 eliminations already. Ben is still on the hunt. He knows where Reyes is. XM8 in his hands. Reyes high ground. Duck on the flank. Ben trying to get up top. Great glue wall response by Reyes. A double one put out, and Ben overzealous. But the flank is still gonna get Reyes as LNQ walks on in that.
Well, let's see now if Big Papa will be able to guide the team back into play. Managed to get away from those engagement, but Blue gets the first 3 elimination in this game. So high tier loot would be a looting spree for the team. For Ozark, though, they went in for engagement, lost one of the players, and still added. Now, let's see if Ozark can go for a revive 1100 from Enigma. easy enough. Can go in, but unfortunately, no preparation, not even putting up a glue wall to make sure he is safe.
I'm just not digging brown skin, bro. That you know, to get annihilated by this tung 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 zahu and then the emotes, man, it kills me.
Bro,
so Brown, I'm not a fan.
Being annihilated, you're spectating guy. He turns the camera around. You see those big eyes.
And you know he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. It's more annoying.
You gotta hit it. So I'm never getting those booyahs. Always struggling. Such is the life. I'm a casual player. I'm not a competitive player. I play Free Fire for fun. You know, just hopping on in there, just seeing if I can get. Yeah, I never get to the final circle. Not that too often.
I try. I mean, for Battle Royale, it's tough because we see players like this, and it's not just like in per region. Similar to what we're seeing in FFUSC, those are the teams that we're seeing on ranked matches. So I do understand the feeling of those who's losing out, but speaking of losing out, Ale will be taken down. Way right now will be moving out away, but unfortunately couldn't move that far, and Flex will be eliminated a little bit too early. On 11 now, we have 10 teams remaining in this game.
Yeah, ruthless stuff out of Rosario Central. They can Flex out of the equation.
Triple kill.
Flexing on Flex themselves. No, oh, my lord. Okay. G, thanks, Otaku. Or I should say Choco. It's a teamwork between Choco and Otaku. Don't revive him. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Let's see if not Fox Gaming can keep this one up from the aquarium. It didn't swim out. Boys barely took a dip there. But it's all about getting into the final circle, and that's why you gotta love this map. Rotation, fairly easy if you know your glide rails.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, glide rails in there. The only downside is you can be spotted because that the glide rails, the slide rails, lights up. So let's see if someone can try and use those small details to their advantage. Wait up for the opponent with whether each side of the slide rails, and then that's when you make that hit. But speaking of hit, well, it seems like Los Cubanos has received a lot of hits right now. But Cubanito will be revived. Chicks right now being shot at, going back and forth, and still managed to survive. Not hitting the glue wall entirely. Rid him. That's what happens when you try to shoot and jump. But from Kane, a bar AC-80 managed to get a headshot.
Yeah, I mean, Kane just went OG there, man. We don't need no Riptide Rhythms. We'll just break down this glue wall. Takes the shot. Brilliant stuff. 5 stars now. Up against Blue. Are they going to be seeing Blue by the end of this engagement? Dabadoo. Dark walks around the corner. Gets caught. Not like a sitting duck. Dior will find him with the M590. He's down, but Ben moving on in for the annihilation. Blue looking to shut down 5 stars. Gray in perfect position here as they lay out those glue wall melters.
Yeah, I'm seeing the connection right here. Blue, dabadoo, badadoo. Let's see if they can do what they have to do at this point. Dragon right now, the only one remaining. And Ben putting a number on him. But unfortunately, Dragon cannot survive. 5 stars eliminated, and Blue with a 7.
A 5-star target annihilated. Blue ain't seen Blue. They turn in their opponents. Absolutely cold and Blue. Cubanito, though, gets the knock. It is not something that they cannot recover from into the 6th minute. Many of those vending machines still available for the squad. They're going to choose to take this one fight straight up here. Cubanito and Kane backing away Neptune. They're going to be overwhelmed by these numbers.
Let's see. Turner. Alan Q almost taken down. Managed to pull up the glue wall, but still at it. Going for rush 36 on the HP. A little bit of ailer action, and Blue is still alive. Cubanito being taken down by Ben. And Ben right now being the savior, being the game changer for Blue.
Bro, the Wukong, the camouflage came out. The Wukong and the time turner combo. Speak about overkill and survive. I didn't even know who popped that. Of course, I think we're gonna see a little bit more of that skill in this competition. Blue, 10 eliminations already, looking solid this time round. Yesterday, Team Blue, 43 points. You know, it was a great day overall for Blue, but not like the matchup that they are having here now for themselves. 16 points. We did manage to see them pick up in Bermuda. Not a lot in Nextera, but this is their recovery game. It's their final opportunity for points, and it looks like they're not taking it easy. They're taking this one super serious. And the next contender, Rosario Central, might just be able to checkmate them.
Yeah, let's see though if they can make that move. And yeah, if that is the move, like depending on how much they can take. Gray receive a lot of damage from Rosario Central with a God Nade as well as the shots. But FAQs taking over the rooftop, had a better vantage point against Blue right now, and Duck would be hunted. VSK in hands of Chicks, landing those shots. Cubanito and to bring back one of teammates, Riptide Rhythm. Duck right now, shot at once, shot at twice, and Kane beats him to it.
Well, Blue looking for trouble. Rosario Central more than happy to bring it to them. Ben the Annihilator still alive and kicking, but he's about to be hunted down. High ground advantage by Rosario Central. 10 eliminations. Allen spotted out, just drew a small little peep here. And Reyes with a backstab. This was unexpected. The Dragons are showing up on the feed as well. Rosario Central moving on in for this opportunity that's wide open in front of them. And it looks like Blue uses the opportunity and the opening to get away. But Red Dragon gets the elimination. The squad, I think, is still hanging on them.
Oh, let's see though. Red Eagles can fly high, but unfortunately, wings clip. John being taken down. Reyes right now. And this is thanks to Big Papa, who managed to revive the whole squad in Waterfall after they are taken down. But unfortunately, same story continues for the Red Eagles. Now, Reyes, Ash, and Big Papa needs to prepare not only against Chicks, but also the rest of the team. Trying to heal up on the prone. Only a leg being hit, and that's what an AW can bring.
Chat, you gotta clip that. Okay? you gotta clip that. Can you imagine one day Red Eagles going up against Red Hawks?
Oh, yeah.
X-Beast.
Falling down a red cliff.
Rosario Central cleaning up house. Red Eagle ACD knocked out in 9th. What a heavy lobby this is. FFUSC, just a different beast altogether, nephew.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Neptune heavy. We're talking about heavy, hitting hard. And Kappa being taken down the up close and personal. Not quite sure what happened there. Unable to switch from that site. But let's see if they can bring themselves back into play. PvP on the other hand, 6th elimination. But L Gang would be taking an L in that fight. Heat right now taking a lot of heat from Hunter and the team. And there's no way out. Only Blue also chipping damage. And 3, make that 4 opponents from Ozark trying to hunt him down. There goes the flight. Heat is still alive and managed to land it.
Man has got no team booster. At this point of time, running in with the tag market. He's looking for one super revival. Can Heat make it? Or is he going to go down with the circle? It's just the 11th minute, so it's a risk worth taking, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a risk, and they manage to bring the players back. Fox Gaming right now going in fight. Drytex being taken down. MVP from previous game. Nick right now will receive a lot of heat, and there goes Tambriz, unable to do the 3 back-to-back Booyah, but still, they've done enough in today's match.
Big stuff right there. Amazingly done. And now, Ozaki Esports, the opportunity to walk away with a solid Booyah here for themselves. is right there staring at them. Blue, on the other hand, looking a little blue. One final survivor.
looking like a little blue with a hint of gray in there.
That's not a good color to look, bro. It's not a good color. Blue and gray, bro. That's not a good one, man.
It looks like a dead color, bro.
Let's hope he gets some blood pumping through his veins again. Maybe someone needs to thaw him out. Maybe he got caught out here in the winter. Snowing.
Yeah, we are in the winter edition, so
yeah,
few teams would be out in the blue. Now, talking about out, let's see if Cold will be out cold, especially Fox is hunting them with Blues closing in as well. Not talking about the team, but is the blue zone, but seems like elimination of Cold Esports as quickly as that, and they didn't even have to do that much.
Yeah, Fox Gaming kind of just pushed them into an unfortunate spot. Ozark Esports taking advantage from the back. Fox Gaming a little irritated, but it's all right. They've got 14 eliminations. They'll be fine. Rosario Central, Ozark, Fox Gaming. What a final showdown. All three squads very capable of walking away with the booyah. Guanaco leading the squad. Hunters trying to flank. Rosario Central sprinting up, leaving Shake 7 up there on the roof. And this one starts off with Rosario and Fox Gaming sneaking into the next zone first as Ozark sneakily stays away from the heat, looking for the flank onto Fox Gaming.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the hit list, they couldn't sneak so quietly, and they will be marked on the board. Now, no offense to Rosario Central, I have nothing against you. Lightning zone triggered. But going into my point, I would love to see Ozark take this booyah. It seems like they were denied earlier, and now this is a chance for them. But Rosario Central proving that there's a lot more that can be brought into the table, and they have a higher win rate in this fight.
Oh, Chicks, you better keep your head down, bro. Yaroa M82B has the AWM as well. Deadly weapon. One clip on the shoulder at the very least is going to be putting Shakes down on the ground. But unfortunately, Yaroa not super confident with the tiny little target that he'll have on the screen. Looks to take the opportunity up against the players onto the right. Shakes has got a perfect viewing angle onto the players of Rosario Central, who are well hidden behind those hedges.
Oh, no. Let's see though. I mean, I know that Chicks has information on Fox Gaming, and it's only left with 3 players to deal with Ozark at this point. There goes one player already down. Kane will be taken out with Guanaco, and the rest of the teams will need to scramble. Blues closing in, and as well as Fox Gaming. Now here comes King Cito, but Trogon doesn't work. FAQ and Chicks needs to regroup right now, and up close and personal, I don't think that AWM would work, and FAQ would be taken down. Now it is a 1v3v4 situation, and Ozark might be able to take down Rosario Central and needs to deal with Fox Gaming a bit.
Yeah, 15 eliminations strong here. Fox Gaming, Rosario Central, just one final survivor. Fox looking strong, Fox looking solid. Joko makes Guanaco eat a huge grenade. Man didn't have a choice, shoved it down his throat. Rosario Central, final survivor in a 1v4. Fox Gaming takes 1, takes 2. Tupac with the M590 secures a solid Foxy booyah.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to swiftly finish that game. And as we've seen earlier, Fox Gaming does have potential. From the previous map, or for the first map, we've seen the high elimination rate that they have in the early game. And at this moment, that they can find a circle, probably it's because of how they can position themselves quickly with its slide rails. They manage to grab that booyah, but very close. I mean, 21 points total after 2 games, plus a huge amount of points for this Solara map brings them a little higher on today's rankings.
Brilliantly played overall by the teams in every single group. I think we saw some fantastic battles in here today. I dare say this is the best so far that FFUSC has offered. throughout both competitions. All right, so and that's a big statement, but it cannot be any truer. I think the games have been explosive, so exciting to watch. Even the grand finals wasn't this exciting, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving that other teams are making those adjustments because from the previous season, some teams, despite of because if they are losing out on the points, they're not giving everything in the early weeks of battle. But with extended knockouts, the extended group stage plus knockout stage, not only are they motivated to bring on because there's very little risk. If in case they lose out, they're showing the better performance that we expect from a grand final battle.
Oh yeah, and Fox, the way they got it done towards the end. Yesterday was a chill day for Fox Gaming, right? And we talk about how we don't need crazy stuff, we just need average stuff. And Fox Gaming is able to show that they can hit their highs, they can hit their decent lows, and that will put them somewhere around the mid-range, which is going to be decent enough to get the qualifier in the top 18. Tupac with the Oscar, 6 eliminations, 3,122 on the damage and the 4 assists. But walk me through his passives, please, Neptune.
Well, we have Andrew, we have that Shani as well as that Ford. So a little bit of sustainability with that Andrew and Ford, plus a healing factor as well. So Rusher with a passive build to be a tank. This is what Tupac has to offer at this point. And that's one reason as well that the aggression coming from this guy is on point. 6 elimination damage overall. It's because once you rush in, it's very difficult to bring him down.
I mean, a rushing tank, nothing worse. So nothing worse you can bump into out there. And this tank can literally break down your glue walls with the Valiant Dash. And what does the tank have as a gun? The M590. Yeah, sounds like a disaster running at you. And that's exactly what Tupac was. It was a fantastic game, fantastic day for Fox Gaming. 31 points, that's the way, boy. What a game, 19 eliminations strong. This was a solid one for Fox Gaming.
Yeah, I was expecting a huge game as well from Ozark, but unfortunately, yes, they managed to get in top 3, but they didn't get that much elimination. Probably it's because it's spread around. Looking at, 1 to 5 on their match standings, from Blue to Cold to Ozark, Rosario Central, and Fox Gaming, they, across the board, they got a lot of elimination. But I'm really loving how Fox Gaming right now is showing up. Overall, if I'm not mistaken, for today, they do have 52 points in their bag right now, going in third against Tambres as well as Ozark Esports.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And Rosario Central, happy to see them bounce back, right? Rosario Central has not had the best day today. 39 points, quite low compared to what they managed to drag in yesterday. But in combination, they're not too shabby at all. So Fox Gaming, they do walk away with a supermassive booyah for themselves after showing up a little weak in the first 3 games. Their debut on day 1, which was played offline. Today, we get to see them wake up. Boys just wanted a few cameras on them.
Well, speaking of cameras, this is where we might see those cameras pointed out, especially for those who has managed to perform quite well in their first 2 days, or week 1 to be exact, of our FFUSC group stage. Zeus Esports definitely, close to 200 because of massive points that they get every time. T-Rex follows through, and Ozark Esports as well as Rosario Central would be in there at 3rd and 4th, closing the gap with T-Rex. 5-star would follow. Tambres with a double booyah for today right now brings themselves up, and 787 as well as Blue to complete the top 8.
By the way, Zeus Esports look like they've played full 2 days, okay? But that's 189 points from 6 games. Okay, let me repeat that. That's 189 points from 6 games. 133 eliminations. And the nearest one to them is 55 eliminations on that second spot. Of course, they are not the heaviest hitter apart from Zeus Esports. You're looking at Rosario Central being the next biggest heavy hitter with 69 eliminations, but down in the 4th spot. Man, Zeus Esports, man, I don't know what to say.
Bro, they're averaging like more than 30 points per match with that number. More than 30 points per match. And that's, I would say, you did mention about averages. That's average that the Booyah is being grabbed in other series, in other tournaments. And Zeus Esports is doing even more in, the first 2 days of the competition.
I am speechless right now. I mean, I do not understand how is this even possible, but that's exactly what we want to see, man. One day, it will be the dream matchup, right? I can't wait to see the top 12 teams, but first we gotta get through 3 weeks of the knockout stage, 24 teams. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the teams that are in front of you, Group A, B, C, D, they'll have to do battle all across 3 weeks. Week 2, this is going to be the map order. Once again, we will have groups A versus B and C versus D all on the same day. Every day, each team will only play 3 games, 6 games across 1 week, which is technically just 2 days. Okay, so just 6 games in a week. It's not a lot at all. But with that, Zeus.
So
crazy stuff.
The question now for Zeus, if they can continue this on for next week, because I think they've done enough. But that's for next week, AJ, because for this week we've seen a lot from Zeus, but we're not saying that we don't want to see more. We want to see more, not only from Zeus, also from T-Rex, also for the other teams who put all their hearts and minds in this game, AJ, just to move up in the ranks and get to the top 18.
Yeah, no doubt at all, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's it for week 1 here at FFUSC 2025 Winter. My name's AJ. I'm the Mustachio, down here with the one and only Neptune, the Gentleman Garcia, signing off. We'll catch you guys next week, same time, same place.